Hey, Bob, you're watching Dolly Vision.
The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlights, king of beach. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light. Jumping up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast to feel so unreal. YouTube madness, like, share, subscribe. Cats on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing? Shadows crawl. People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, king the beat. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light.
What is up, YouTube? It is Dolly back in the house again tonight for a little bit of late night true crime hangout. It is good to see you jumping in the chat room so quickly. And thank you for everybody who joined me earlier today on our Thanksgiving giveaway, right? We're buying people Thanksgiving dinner, families. We will be doing the same thing tomorrow night around, I say 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So if you're a family in need, make sure you get your letter in to us at pjvision22@gmail.com. If you're a family out there in need of Thanksgiving dinner, we're going to be giving a few of those away tomorrow. All right. So, of course, we're going to be talking about Sebastian Rogers tonight. We're also going to be talking about Melodee Buzzard, the little girl missing out of California. And of course, we're getting closer and closer to the 2-year mark in Sebastian Rogers. And, you know, I was noticing today, we haven't heard much from the family lately from Sebastian Rogers. We did have that leaked phone call that came out from the fake ass intelligence agency, right? And which was very old in the beginning of this case. And then they released it. So really nothing real new in the Sebastian Rogers case other than breaking news, right? Seth is going live today. Okay, now I'm pretty curious of what Seth has to say, but there is a whole merch store for Sebastian Rogers. You can buy Sebastian Rogers flags, Sebastian Rogers hoodies, Sebastian Rogers this, Sebastian Rogers that. And my thing is this, is we done seen that Chris and Katie are mad about people trying to make money off of Sebastian. Is this just a, you know, is Seth coming live to make money off his son? That is the question, right? That is the question. Is this just another way of him grabbing even more money? Like we heard in that phone call, and you know, even I've said it here, that Seth raised a lot of money, but he didn't put any of that money towards the search for Sebastian Rogers or the reward. Now, the reward right now is $50,000, and that's from the FBI. And a lot of people say, Dolly, the FBI don't put out rewards for runaway kids, right? Well, we don't know that Sebastian's ran away, and they put out rewards for missing kids. Yes, they do. There's other kids that are missing that there's no suspects to that also have rewards by the FBI. So the FBI absolutely does put out rewards for missing kids. Now, runaways, if you know for a fact they ran away, of course the FBI is not putting out a reward for a kid they know for a fact ran away, but we don't know for a fact that Sebastian Rogers ran away. Now, you know, me praying for a Christmas miracle, I would like to see people work it out. And a lot of this drama that surrounds Sebastian Rogers go away and everybody work together to put search parties together. Now, if Seth comes up tomorrow and he said, well, today, technically, because it's after 12, and he says, you know, I want to put a search party together. I need to raise money to put a search party together, or to get a canine dog, or an underwater diver, or damn anything to do with searching. I would support that. Okay. I would support that. I would be like, okay, he's raising money for the right. Why can't his channel make money? Yours does, off of missing kids. No, my channel makes money because of me. Okay. And what I talk about. That's different than me selling. Do you ever see me sell anything with a missing kid on it? Ever? Have you ever seen that? You ever seen me sell anything with a missing kid on it? When did I negotiate with the mother of my child to say, hey, we won't use our child to make money, and do it anyway? Did I lie about the reward? Did I align myself with every bad person in the world? No, I didn't. I didn't. So it it is way different. It is way different. But you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, but it's way different. And to me, I support Seth if he's using this money for the right reason. You know, he's out here, you know, allegedly, you know, spent a lot of money to pay some girl's rent, which is real disturbing why he's trying to get a booty call instead of searching for his kid. Now, listen, I think all these people have done some wrong in the Sebastian Rogers case, both sides. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to get up here and argue with people, right? If you have your opinion, that's great. That's fine with me. I don't care what you think. What I do with my money is totally different than what somebody does with their money. People don't donate to me because of a missing kid. They donate to me because of my entertainment, right? That's totally different. Seth is not an entertainer. Dolly is a professional entertainer. Okay. I own a media network. Does he own a media network? Okay. There's totally difference in between me and who Seth is. And like I said, I don't sit up here and sue people for nothing, right? I don't fake searches. Now, hopefully people get things right in 2026. All right. That's what I'm hoping for anyway, that these people will get out there and put some search parties together for Sebastian Rogers, because right now nobody's looking for Sebastian Rogers. You know what's a shame though is, you know, the money I've made, I've spent flying to Tennessee. I've went down there searching for Sebastian multiple times. And I would tell you this, I have searched more than his father has. Can he say those things? I'm the one out here every day saying, don't give up on Sebastian. Are they? I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. You know, but like I said, he now has a whole merch store with Sebastian stuff on it. Is he splitting that money with Katie? Don't you think that would be? Why is one family member making the money? Why ain't the whole family benefiting from what's being made off of Sebastian? Okay. When I eat, my family eats. Why is it he the only one eating? You see what I'm saying? Or are we going to watch his live? Well, no, he's not live right now. He searched 4 times according to his RICO filing. Yeah, listen, I'm not mad at Seth. I would like to see Seth do the right things moving forward. I really do. I want to see Chris and Katie do the right things moving forward. Don't be Dolly at home. It's dangerous. Yeah, let me give my warnings since we're talking about such sensitive cases where people like to take out frivolous lawsuits on people. Paula, thank you for being a new member. Okay. Do you see Seth up here buying anybody for anything for Thanksgiving? Hateful comment leaver? I don't think so. I don't think so. So what me and Seth do with our money is 2 different totally things. Okay. So what was I about to say? I didn't forgot that quick. I forgot what I was going to say. I went completely brain dead right there. So, like I said, he will be live today. And hopefully he has some. You think Seth is grifting? Now listen, I was talking about, him not splitting the money with Chris and Kate. Well, at least Katie, because Katie is the mother, right? Now, at this point, a lot of people suspect Katie, but there's no proof that Katie has done anything wrong right now. There's 0 proof, right? So this money he's making off the child, shouldn't that go, half of that go to Katie? Because Katie says she's searching behind the scenes. Katie says she don't have to tell people what she's doing. 3 years as a turtle, love it. 36 months. And if you want to come up, Mab, or anybody want to come up, I will post a link to join me on the stage to discuss these cases tonight. We're going to be watching some videos. We're going to watch a little bit of what Vinny had to say about the Sebastian Rogers case. Because, like I said, we're going on 2 years. Now, listen. I think if you're going to sell merchandise with a child on it, okay, let's just say this. My child was missing. Pray to God nothing like that ever happens. I don't like to even talk that stuff into existence. But if there was a benefit for my daughter, of course, her mother would be 50% on that because her mother would be by my side. Even though we're not together, she would be right here with me discussing our child and what we could do to help. And I know my mother wouldn't give up like that. Okay. All right. Turn your camera off, Mab. It just helps to lag because my internet has been kind of crazy lately. I'm thinking about actually switching back to Cox. Thing wants to drag like it is. And Christy Ford, thank you. P.S. My son is Sumner County Jail. Is in Sumner County Jail? Oh, Lord.
No.
And Helena just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Helena. So, what do you think about that, Mab? What I was discussing about, if a parent is out there profiting off a child, it should be split between the 2 parents.
Well, Seth, ever since Sebastian went missing, Seth stopped working. It was that shoulder thing, right?
I don't know if that's true. I think he went back to work. I'm not positive of that, but I think he did.
He went on disability because of a shoulder, and I never saw that he went back to work. I may be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know if he did either, but I think he did go back to work.
Is he working now?
I think so. I mean, I'm not positive.
I don't know.
Of that. I mean, the only way to check is really to call where he works and ask, does he work there? But I haven't done that. I don't go past them boundaries. I don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's certain things I don't do, and I don't call people's works or try to get people fired or, any of the real life stuff. All I do is talk about stuff here on the internet. I don't go outside of that.
Sebastian merch?
Yeah, shirts, hoodies, flags, tumblers, whatever you can put Sebastian's face on.
And he's not putting any of that money towards a reward or a search.
Not that I've seen. I ain't saying he's not. I just saying that we ain't seen that. Remember when he raised that he raised 25,000 on the GoFundMe? He never put any of that towards the reward, and then he backs a fake reward, right? And there ain't nobody in here that can't tell me that reward ain't fake. Oh, my warnings. Dolly Vision's for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculations, theories, mixed with a little bit of comedy and a whole lot of chaos, right, Mab?
And do not try to be Dolly at home. Your head will explode.
Guest
will come out of every orifice of your face.
Guest on the panel tonight, or their opinions are theirs and theirs alone. So if you want to sue anybody, sue Mab, okay? And everyone is innocent to proven guilty, even the people we're talking about tonight. And just like Mab said, don't try to be me at home. Okay, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. So people are saying he is no longer employed. Well, I mean, I don't know. I do know there were some rumors, in the beginning that he was trying to get disability, and that's why he stopped searching, because he couldn't get disability if he was able to go out there and search in those woods. And even on the JLR even alleged that he was out there telling him what to film, like it was a TV show, and rubbing his shoulder like he was hurt. So I mean, I don't know what's real and what ain't with him, but that to me, it don't really even matter. What I really like to see is Seth do the right thing.
Yeah.
From this point on, I don't care about what he did in the past. Yes, the past has came and gone. I don't care about all the effery he did. I mean, I just would like to see him go into the new year doing the right things. It was kind of sad to see Seth out there, pretty much by himself. Yes. Now, he did this because all these people had his back, these TikTok conies, bullhorn betties, monkey boys, and all this. But when it came down to it, did they really have his back? That is the question. And I would say absolutely not. Absolutely not.
He was the wrong people to be around.
I know, man.
And ran off all the good ones.
Yeah, I think that is the case too. And he was out there with the one psychic lady.
Yeah.
Right. And then the search that he went on with JLR, he had got that location from a psychic. Now, I could have told him, listen, these psychics are never right. Okay. I know some of y'all think these psychics are like the whole world and Donna Serafina and all this stuff, but
I used to call you Dolly Serafina.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is this: these people they're never right in these cases, and to go off of that, I mean,
if these psychics were real, they'd all be millionaires, and you'd never see them on YouTube grifting for money.
Absolutely. That's what I think. If you're a broke psychic, I don't want you to be my psychic.
Hold on.
Right? I ain't even saying you got to win the lottery, but you at least better know the stock market. And hopefully Tesla's going up, because I got a couple stocks in Tesla, and I could use a few bucks.
I got some Tesla too.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's been taking a hit lately. It's been taking a pretty good hit.
Gold too. I bought a bunch of gold. I don't know, 6 years ago.
Where do you purchase that at?
I took my IRA. You know how you put like 4,000 or 5,000 away every year to a IRA?
I ain't got that kind of money.
It was when I was in the corporate world, IRA, and you're allowed to put up to like 5,500, 6,500, and it lowers your taxes.
Oh,
so I did that for a while, and then it started tanking. So I took all of the whole thing and I put it all in gold and silver.
Oh yeah, you can't
and
lose
it crashed, and I was like, what a dumbass. But it went back up.
Oh, okay. So, like I said, that maybe there's a good reason why he's doing this, but do you think that he should be sharing this money with Katie that he's making? I think I lost Mab. Did I lose you, Mab? He's muted right now.
Sorry, my microphone was off because she was making a little noise in the background. Do I think that he should probably share some of that money?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's only fair. Like, let's just say I was, selling my kid's image. It's both of their kids. I mean, it seems like he would owe her a 50-50 split of what's raised to find their child.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it for sure.
And I think that's the, and of course, in the beginning, and we heard this just the other day when Katie was on the phone with that PI or at the door with the PI, she said that he's made 50,000 off my kid. I wonder if she got that number from me.
Maybe.
Because I said he made 25 off of the GoFundMe, which he did. He did make that much off the GoFundMe. And I said he probably made the same thing off of Cash App because more people were posting his Cash App than anything. So he probably made $50,000. And I know they listen. I wonder if that's where she got the number from. Or does she know something we don't know?
I don't know. I wonder how much he was spending on old 1202.
Yeah, but how about this? How can you get that much money and draw disability?
Well, you can't. You're gonna have to end up paying some of that back, unless
it's not in your name.
Yeah, maybe he started. Didn't he start some kind of a?
He said his sister started to GoFundMe.
501c3 somewhere.
Well, I think he was trying to the Rogers family. That's so he don't have to pay taxes on that money.
Yeah, Rogers Family Trust or something like that.
Yeah, he had something going on, and that's he tried to start that before he even knew Sebastian had autism. So
he's tried to start before he went missing.
Yes. He said his kid liked horses, and he wanted to start. You never hear him say that. But the thing is, this Sebastian didn't get diagnosed till he was in Tennessee, and just not too long before he went missing. So they didn't know Sebastian. I mean, he could have like thought the child had autism, but he wasn't actually diagnosed till not long ago before he went missing.
Right. I think he was probably pretty high functioning.
Holiday says you have to declare the income regardless. Well, if the income's in somebody else's name, they're going to have to pay taxes on that money. But if it's not in your name, you don't got to claim it.
If you've got a trust and you're the
but he ain't. He didn't do none of that legally. I don't think. Anyway, to me, it don't matter. I would say if you're searching for your kid and you need money, get all the money you can, right? Yeah. But the problem is when you're not
searching.
Yeah.
Not putting the money towards anything that's going to.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that there's a ton of people out here buying the Sebastian Rogers merchandise. I mean, I don't know his merchandise sales. He could be selling all kinds of shit, making all kinds of money. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either.
But his stream is titled "It's Been Too Long." Is the title of his stream,
and that's coming out today.
Today, yeah, he'll be live today, and I agree with him on that. It has been too long. It absolutely has been too long without an update from Hendersonville, Tennessee. I agree with him. Yeah. It's been too long. That they should have been coming out giving us updates, and they basically gave us nothing. And at this point, going on 2 years, if you ain't solved the case, then put what you do know out into the public, right? And
so you may get a hit on something.
And I don't think Seth has anything to do with the disappearance of his son. I really don't. I think he seen an opportunity that, I bet he's probably really is sad about his son, but he's seen an opportunity where he could make some fast cash. And you know who I blame that on?
Tony?
No, I don't blame it on Tony. You know who I blame it on?
No.
T-Rev.
Oh, okay.
T-Rev started with that. I made $20,000 this month off of Sebastian Rogers.
In his ear, how much money you can make off grifting off of kids and stuff.
That's what he did. T-Rev came out and said, I made $20,000 this month talking about Sebastian. But you got to remember, T-Rev was streaming 27 hours a day.
And he was phony and call-ins and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he was streaming nonstop. Like, you know, I've never seen no money like that on YouTube. And when I heard him say it, I was like, holy. The only person I've ever heard say they made that much money was Molly. Remember Molly Golightly?
Yeah, yeah.
Molly would be like, yo, but she does life coaching on Patreon. And she said, you know, I made $20,000 this month. I was like, I'd be happy to make $20,000 this year. You know what I'm saying? And she said she made it in a month. And I was
I can be a life coach.
Yeah, but I guess she
don't do what I did.
She has a lot of Patreons and stuff like that. But when I heard T-Rev say it, I thought he was lying. I honestly did think he was lying. I was like, man, there's no way he made $20,000. But he may have. Streaming the amount of hours that he was streaming, and he was having a lot of people in the room at the time because everybody did
some of the hottest rap songs in the country.
Dude, that dude is fire. He's right under 50 Cent. He's like 2 dimes and a nickel.
He's what do you call it? 2 dimes and a nickel.
2 dimes and a nickel. Buffalo. That should be his rap name, 2 dimes and a nickel. Okay. But I'm just picking, right? I don't right. But he did. He planted that into Seth's ear. And then shortly after that, Seth was all about the Benjamins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was walking around singing P. Diddy. But I think that's when he realized, hey, there could be money made on this, right? Now, from what I understand, is a lot of them signs were donated. He did buy some bracelets, but there's no way he bought $25,000 worth of bracelets. Let's be honest. And then he said his truck. Remember when he tried to explain the money? He said, well, I've been putting gas in my truck.
It's a gas guzzler.
Yeah, that's a hellacious gas guzzler, right? at $25,000 for a couple months. So when he said that, I believe that Seth realized, hey, I may be able to pay some bills with this.
Yeah.
And he did that. Which, listen, like I said, if Seth was going to be out of work and he was going to actually look for his son, I got no problem with it. I'd have donated him some money. I even shared his Cash App, right? I shared his Cash App here.
He was pounding the pavement out there, In
the beginning, he made, I don't know what he was actually doing, but he made people think he was doing good. Because that's why I flew down there to help him. I said, okay, he's doing the right things. He's a father that misses his kid. And I do think he misses his kid. I do think he loves his son. But I also think he's a little bit of an opportunist. I mean, that's just my thought on it. And like I said, I think that was playing in his head because once that stuff started, once he started surrounding himself with the wrong people, then it really got like a little crazy. It was all about money and suing people and and the GoFundMe's and the Cash Apps and I'm going to start a YouTube channel so I can, then he monetizes everything and puts it on, members only and shit. So it gets a little, a little
dicey,
in that area. And I can understand Chris and Katie being a little upset about it because they agreed not to do that shit. You don't. Have you ever seen Chris and Katie? I mean, listen, there are number one suspects in this, though, Chris and Katie. But have you ever seen Chris and Katie try to profit off of Sebastian? No, I haven't either. And then they donated $1,000 to the billboard for Sebastian, which probably to them ain't much money. That's like, their $1,000's probably like
100.
Yeah, like to them is like my dollar is their thing. You know what I'm saying? They live in $1 million home. Yes. So $1,000 probably really ain't that much in the big scale of things. But with Katie not working, it might be because now you only got Chris working. But back then you had Chris and Katie working.
Where did she work? She worked at a telecommunications.
She worked for a security company like Brinks.
She never even had cameras on her own house.
Allegedly, we don't know that, man. But yeah, she worked. So then after this, she didn't work anymore because they gave the van back to Brinks. So you figure their income just took a big hit
Why would she quit her job?
I don't know. I guess the internet backlash, there's a lot of crazies in the world. She said she was getting threats. Now, I know I'm sure somebody out there said some crazy stuff to her. I don't doubt that.
No.
I don't think she was getting threats at the time she said she was, but I'm sure later on, as this has progressed, people have made threats towards her.
Credible threats that would actually be acted out.
How do you weigh a threat out? Like you never know with people when they make threats. Oh, PJ says I'm so loud. I'll try to keep it down a little bit, PJ. I mean, how do you take a threat? What threat is credible and what threat's not?
Well, I always carry protection, so I ain't worried about nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I take every threat seriously, and so I when you come to threatening me or my family, usually if it's on YouTube, I'll just be like, oh, they probably ain't gonna do nothing.
Right.
But I do take it seriously. I do take it in consideration that, you may want to do something harmful or believe something that like one of these hate channels say and come try to do something. And that would be the worst mistake anybody can humanly make,
Yeah.
Because like I said, well, you know what, Eileen? No, here's the thing. Believe it or not, Eileen wants to donate to the Thanksgiving giveaway.
That's sweet.
Right? Ain't that crazy?
Because her buddies.
Yeah, she hit us up today and said she would like to donate to help a family for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm going to donate too.
So, and for any of you guys that don't know who Eileen is the lady that I grabbed a bullhorn from in Georgia and went to jail, right? Can you close the door all the way? You're so loud. I have it closed. Yes. So she hit us up today. Now you got to remember, people had put Eileen up to the things she was doing to say what she was doing. And Eileen actually apologized to me. And, I apologized to her. And we worked out our differences a long time ago. So when she seen us doing something good, she just wanted to be a part of it. And she hit us up and said, hey, I think it's great what you're doing for the families. I like to donate. And of course, when Eileen hit up the prosecutors and told the prosecutors, hey, if you try to put him in jail, I'm going to show up on his behalf.
Yeah.
So that worked out the way it did. Yeah. So I think a lot of people don't understand that. They just thought that I was just mean to this old lady and, that was it. But it's a lot bigger story to it than what you've seen on YouTube.
Yeah.
People don't know all the behind the scenes stuff.
Right.
Okay, give me 1 second, Mab. Hold down the fort. Talk to the people. I'll be right back.
All right. Hey, PJ Vision. No, you don't. It's definitely not closed. I can see through it. That's why I had to leave. Proudfoot's got big money. What did I see? They only paid $300 for that home. And combined, they make $120,000 gross a year, probably, says Kitty Hawk. That's probably about right. I paid about that much for my place. That was 25 years ago. I don't even know how much it's worth now, but can't sell it because you can't buy anything else.
What did I miss?
Talking about how much Proudfoot's house, probably what they paid for it, how much it's worth now.
I don't know. I would say their houses, every bit of them was $1 million home.
Yeah, but when they bought it, it might have been, $300,000. That's what Kitty Hawk.
Somebody said, Dolly, you may need your own Thanksgiving dinner donation if you keep waking PJ up. Well, I'm taking us out to dinner, so either way, I'm getting Thanksgiving dinner.
There's Shauna.
Yeah, we're not cooking anyway. we're not cooking here. We're going out to eat. And then we're going to her family's and then to her sister's. So I'm not cooking. We're not cooking anyway.
Sounds like a busy day.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll go out, me and her. And I don't know if Tiff's going with us. I got to talk to my daughter and see if she's coming. She usually goes to her grandmother's and with her mom. So I don't know if she's going to do that this year, but I got to find out.
I'm going up to my dad's. I still got my dad, my mom, and 2 step parents, all still alive in their upper 80s.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Good genes going on.
There you go. That just means you're going to live a long time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing.
Shauna says CP and KP did not buy that house, and I promise you it's not $1 million house. I promise you it is. I promise you it is. Real estate prices only go up, and houses started at 700,000 up there in the neighborhood, and they live in one of the nicer houses, and they live in one of the brick houses in the neighborhood too. So that house, I'll say 700,000. That's close enough to $1 million. You know.
Yeah.
It's an expensive ass house. That's the moral of that story.
Yeah.
They ain't living in a crack hood.
No.
You know, they can walk around their neighborhood at night. I walk around my neighborhood at night, I might get shot. So,
Napster, when are you coming to San Jose? I was just in San Jose last week.
was you in San Jose?
Yeah, I live
So
pretty close.
So I just wanted to see what
Okay.
everybody's take. Is anybody going to order some Sebastian Rogers stuff from Seth? He may need the money.
I'm not-
You know, I mean, it is almost, you know, the holidays, and he may need some money. You know, I would send him a dinner if he would take it. If he's
Sure, you
struggling,
need it.
you know, I mean, if he wants a turkey and some stuffing and all that good stuff, I send it to him. I have no problem with that. I don't hate Seth. I just wish he would do the right things. You know, I just wish that man would do the right thing. Same thing with Chris and Katie.
You know, Seth to me is like a guy who never got enough attention as a young man, or, you know, and was basically kind of, he's not a real ladies' man. So he's kind of waiting Katie for all those years.
He waited on that was creepy. That was just creepy to say. You never say you waited for a girl to turn 18.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah, that was a little, you know, I waited for her I didn't do nothing inappropriate. I waited for her to turn 18. That means you was thinking about it.
There is an element
to me
that feels a little bit sorry for him.
What, for Katie?
No, for him, Seth.
Oh, well, I mean, even Katie, she had it rough. Her mom, you know, was a little, you know, I don't know what was going on with her mom, but apparently her mom liked young people too.
Lifetime probation or something.
She's on the registry list for life, 99 years or something like that. You know, so
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's horrible. You know, I don't know exactly what she did. You know, it really ain't my place. I mean, I don't think whatever she did ain't responsible for Sebastian going missing. But if you come up in a crazy environment, you may be more likely to be, you know, if you come from people that have mental health problems, you may be more likely to have some mental health problems.
True.
So
sometimes it runs in families.
Yeah. Or, you know, there may be a couple crazies and the rest be normal, you know. So I don't know. I you know, believe it or not, I haven't seen her mom. I mean, we live right in the same area. I've seen her aunt. But I haven't seen her mom. I mean, I don't mess with none of these people. When I seen her aunt, I didn't say nothing to her. You know, it's not my place to go say something to some complete strangers. And plus, you know, I got to live around you at that, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
I just know that Sebastian Rogers is not around here. I do keep an eye out, and I do have friends that live right on the same road that her mother lives on, and I'm sure if they know Sebastian's missing and what he looks like, so I'm sure if he was out there, they would let me know. So
I don't think Sebastian is with us anymore.
I truly don't either. I think he's out in those woods somewhere. I think he just needs to be found, honestly.
Yeah, he needs a proper burial.
I'm gonna pull up this video from Vinny and them talking about Sebastian. You can watch it with me if you want, there, Mr. Mab. And if anybody else wants to come up and join us, I will share the link in just 1 second.
This feels like the old days. Panel.
I like to do it at night. Late at night. I don't like to do it during the day. It's just it's too chaotic. But this is the link to get into the room, guys. Let me share that. That is the link if you want to come up. And I'm going to jump into this real fast, man.
All right.
A year and a half at this point. He's still missing. Recently, the FBI released their timeline update in this case.
I didn't know that.
Whoa, I've got some feedback. 1 second, folks.
I didn't know that either.
Sibilance.
Oh, my
Microphone
goodness.
check.
On here. I got to mute this. 1 second. Please stand by. Please stand by.
Please stand by. Please stand by.
Watch the closing doors, please.
All right. I'm sorry. We're going live today on Instagram as well. All right. So Sebastian Rogers, it's been a year and a half. FBI timeline. I want to go through it because we haven't had a chance. We've been on some other stories recently, and I want to go through this timeline, what it means, what pieces are missing, what questions it raises, and what questions are unanswered, and why why this case hasn't been solved, why Sebastian Rogers hasn't been found. So that's the agenda today. I am Vinny Politan. Great to have you aboard, folks. Welcome to the show. I'm the lead anchor at Court TV, your front row seat to justice.
I think everybody knows Vinny's the lead anchor at Court TV, right?
Yeah.
He always says it, though. I'm the lead. Listen, Vinny, we know that's why we're on your channel, because you're the lead anchor at Court TV.
Well, who's the UFC fighter over here in the sunglasses?
That is Josie. I actually like Josie.
Never seen him before.
Their podcast is the Tangent Podcast.
Yeah.
I think they need a little bit better production, but I like their podcast. It's just the three of them and they're old school buddies, and they just sit around and chop it up about stuff. So it's real natural. It ain't forced. You know what I'm saying? You can tell they don't have a script. They just get together and hang out and chop it up. Kind of like me and you, Mab.
These two dudes?
Yeah, they're always with them.
There's
he
three
does.
of them?
Yeah, there's three of them. There's this Albert H guy here.
Yeah.
And I think he's a prosecutor. And I believe this dude's a prosecutor too. Was a prosecutor, Josie. So all of them have been in like law. That's what they have in common. Because Vinny was a prosecutor. And I think Josie was a prosecutor.
And it's separate from Vinny's own podcast.
And I think Albert is a lawyer, right, guys? He's a lawyer. I think all of them are in law. Pretty sure of that.
I thought Vinny was flying solo on his channel.
Yeah, he does solo stuff, but then I think once a week he does the Tangent Podcast, and he does it on his channel. Sometimes they air it on Court TV too.
Really? Okay.
Josie is a radio host. Okay, thank you. All right, I knew it was something like that. This guy's in law then. So yeah, this is his homeboys, and they chop it up about true crime.
With me, Albert H. Wunsch III, Esquire.
Hola, Tangenistas.
Also with us, the radio legend, the one and only Jonesy.
There you go.
Greetings
Radio
from
legend.
Asbury Park, New Jersey.
And this is the Tangent Podcast.
Vinny and the Tangent Podcast. Vinny has the blue eyes, I'll
There's lots going on here.
Jonesy stays behind his shades, entertaining all folks. It's Vinny and the Tangent, True Crime Podcast. Load up all your comments, hit those super chats. Let's go smash that like button so we can all have a blast. Vinny, Allen, Jonesy on the job, they're the shooting.
Their music is horrible. I hate to say it. Their music is absolutely horrible.
Gang of true crime, they're telling stories of days gone by. They take crime and turn into a good old time. It's Vinny and the Tangent, True Crime Podcast.
All right. Happy Friday, everyone, as we get closer and closer to the holidays. Great to have you aboard. But it's been way too long in the Sebastian Rogers case. And are you surprised, Al, that we're still here without an answer, without solving what happened here and trying to find this young man?
I'm not surprised, but on the other hand, it just tears at my heart. Absolutely tears at my heart. This poor family having to deal with this, and this poor child.
I have to agree. When this first happened, I didn't think it would go this far. What about you, Matt?
I didn't think they were going to find him.
You didn't at all?
No,
Ever?
ever.
Wow. I thought they would have. I thought that, when he went out barefooted, that they, a hiker or somebody in the woods would have stumbled across him.
We were covering Riley Strain at the time.
Yeah. And I don't think he would have been such a big story if it wasn't for Riley Strain either. Because
they didn't find him within just a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, I figured, they're not going to find him if they haven't found him by now. And it was about a week after.
Yeah, well, they're definitely not going to find him if nobody's searching for him.
Yeah.
Somebody said, yeah, their intro is terrible. You have the best intro song, Dolly. I know mine's all rocky and, good. It took me a while to get used to my intro song, too. I didn't really like it at first. And then it kind of grew on me.
Wherever he is, it is, this story has baffled me from the beginning, and it continues. And I'd gone through this timeline and looked at everything, and I'm just I just can't figure it out. I don't understand why we can't get some form of closure on this, why this boy can't be found, or why, we don't know what happened to him. It's just baffling and heartbreaking.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. They just turned 16, Jonesy.
Yeah. I didn't know that he just turned 16, but it boggles my mind as well, because
Well, he turned 16 months ago.
Yeah.
seems to me in a lot of similar type of cases, of somebody missing, that by now there'd be some sort of breakthroughs, in these modern times with video cameras everywhere and, investigatory techniques that never existed in the past. It just seems like tracking is something that happens a lot faster than this particular case.
Yeah. By the way, folks, we're live streaming on my Facebook, on my YouTube, on my Twitch, on my X, and on my Instagram today. So we're on Instagram today.
Oh, fancy.
Full vertical format. So welcome to folks watching on Instagram. And of course, the Court TV simulcast on Court TV's YouTube. So great to have everyone aboard there. Let's get right to it, because I want to get to this timeline, because it'll take a little bit of time to get through the timeline of what the FBI recently released in this case. So, wait a minute. I got to hit the pause button. Here we go. On February 26, 2024, right? It's actually, we're getting pretty close to 2 years now. Katie Proudfoot, his mom, went to wake up her 14-year-old son.
Wait a minute. She went to wake up. Was he 14 at the time? I thought he was 15. He was 15 at the time.
Yeah, I thought he was 15 too.
Yeah, he was 15 at the time.
for school. To her surprise, he was nowhere to be found. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers had spent the previous day with his mother. The pair shopped at a department store, played video games at a bowling alley, and had dinner at a local restaurant before heading home for the evening. After returning to their home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, Katie and Sebastian prepared for bed, saying goodnight sometime between 9 and 10. So my first question is,
What was that, Mab?
What about who took out the trash?
She said Sebastian took out the trash.
They left that out.
Yeah. But I think what happened was they went out to, got the colossal popcorn. They went bowling. They came back home. He took out the trash. They got back in the car. They rode to Texas Roadhouse, ate dinner, came back.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to remember, they came home before they went to the Texas Roadhouse. And allegedly, in between that time, he took the trash out. Then they went out to eat.
Anytime you have a person that gives too many details, colossal popcorn, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
That's popcorn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming he did get the popcorn. I mean, you think about that, he ate all that popcorn. Then he went to Texas Roadhouse and he was eating like he ain't never ate before.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're a kid, you can tear some food up. So that ain't unnormal, I guess. And I think people are looking too much into the Texas Roadhouse thing, especially with the green hoodie person.
Yeah,
people will make something out of nothing. And I don't know. They carried on about that green hoodie person for what, 6 months? And then it was
looked like somebody, they were kind of a legend. There was a handoff of something.
Yeah, and then the lights for 6 months. I think that one YouTuber, he's still looking at the lights. I'm not quite sure.
And I think you have to look at everything, everyone, and every moment of this.
Okay.
Do we have evidence that he returned home in Hendersonville, Tennessee? Like, the FBI doesn't necessarily.
Yes, Vinny. There's some evidence that he returned home. You want to know what that evidence? Do you know what the evidence is, ma'am, that he returned home? Well, at least some of his belongings returned home. The clothes that he was wearing at the Texas Roadhouse were at the house. Now, unless he went missing naked and she handed him off naked or did something to him and stripped his clothes off of him, all his clothes were accounted for.
Right. I think he disappeared in the evening from the garage in a vehicle, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I would think maybe possible something like that. But his shoes and his clothes that he was wearing, the baby Yoda shirt and stuff, that's accounted for. They have that. So if he didn't make it home, he's somewhere naked.
Yeah.
Say that here. Like, what is the evidence? Obviously, mom can say it, right? That's evidence. But is there some corroborating piece of evidence, like video, cell phone, logging on to his computer or something?
He didn't have internet, but his clothes were there. So I would say either she did something with him and took his clothes off, or he at some point was at that house to take the clothes off, because the video shows him wearing certain clothes and those clothes have been accounted for. So I would say most likely he was there.
There's something. That's the first thing that I would want here. Something that confirms this first part of the timeline, that Sebastian actually returned back to the home in Hendersonville.
Well, we do though have. There was the guy in the green hoodie that spoke to the mother in the parking lot.
It was a woman,
and the kid was there at that time.
But that's not their home.
That's not their home, but I mean, it does show that, I mean, he was heading to the car at that point in time, but doesn't show that he was home. But I mean, so we do have him in the parking lot. We do have him in the car or getting to the car. And then the next thing is we have to believe the mother saying that he's at the house.
Right.
Bed. And they said they parted. He went to bed. She went to her, where she was going. and then the next part of the story comes with a loud bang, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But to me, this moment right here, this is a crucial part of the timeline, because this establishes like what I would call it's not necessarily the scene of the crime, but like where should the focus be in terms of locations? And Jonesy, if we have evidence, like corroborating evidence that he's in the home, which can come in many different ways, then yeah, the focus is the home. But unless we have that, I think the focus of the invest has to begin at the restaurant.
Yeah, but most 15-year-olds, Avery, don't get car sick. Okay.
No.
So you're not going to be carrying clothes around in a car for a 15-year-old kid.
Was there a video of the coming out to take out the trash?
And he was healthy when he left the Texas Roadhouse. And
Isn't there a video of somebody taking out the trash?
yeah, but it's unclear who it is.
Right. Could have been her.
And your son is 14 and you keep extra clothes in the car for him? I mean, it's possible. I ain't saying it's impossible, but I'm saying most 15-year-old kids don't get car sick. And he seemed perfectly fine when he left the restaurant. He was healthy. And they have the phone data from her phone that shows where she went after she left the Texas Roadhouse.
I don't think this was a planned event.
Yeah, and when he got home, she says, he changed into his night clothes, which was some sweatpants and a t-shirt, which is understandable. That's what I'm wearing right now. Sweatpants and a t-shirt, my night clothes that, I usually sleep in. So, I mean, that's like a natural guy thing, is to sleep in sweatpants. Yet sometimes I'll wear a sweatshirt and pull the hoodie over my face when I go to sleep. I swear I do. I'll throw the hoodie up and pull it over my face because I usually sleep with the TV on. And as I'm getting tireder and tireder, I pull the hoodie down and just knock out.
Light.
Yeah, to keep the light from the TV and out of my eyes, because I got to sleep with a TV and a fan on.
Yeah, I have to have the fan on, but I got these, Mrs. Madbuck, these really cool blinders.
Oh, like you wear over your face?
Yeah, nice ones.
Yeah, I can't never get used to something being strapped behind my head, but usually I'll wear a hoodie and I'll pull the hoodie over my eyes. So, Peace Loving Pugs, thank you for being a member for 37 months. Major respect for Dolly and Ali, like Muhammad Ali.
Dolly and Ollie.
Dolly and Ali, okay.
Well, sure. Yeah, I mean, that absolutely makes sense. You need to connect the dots on, like, as far as, like, where they actually traveled to before whatever incident may have taken place to cause his disappearance.
But they did go to the restaurant. They did speak to the people at the restaurant. I mean, that's how they identified the green hoodie guy. And
you're more than welcome to come up with us too, Tony. I'll give you the link. You can keep your camera off. It keeps it from lagging. That's the link to get in.
Yeah, the video of them at the restaurant.
Right. And there is no testimony or nothing that's come up that we're aware of that says that there was any untoward behavior or there was any other problems between her and her child at the restaurant. There's nothing that says that they were fighting or that there was incidents. So it just seemed like they had a decent, a nice meal. They were playing the video games and at the bowling alley and they had dinner. I mean, so they did look into the restaurant. I mean, obviously the mother is always going to be the first suspect with regards to this because she's the one who sees him last.
The last known person to be with Sebastian Rogers is her mother. So everything she says needs to be corroborated from start to finish. Everything. But
it would be very, very difficult to corroborate that he's at the house without him logging on to a computer or without having something else or made a phone call from the house or had it.
Now, I had to disagree with that. And these people are legal people. Here's the thing. They took their phones your phones track everything you do everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So they
So
would
does
have
the car.
definitely, yeah. So they would have definitely been able to know. What's up, Tony?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay, they would have definitely known that that phone left Texas Roadhouse and went home. And somebody said they think he jumped out the car and ran off. Well, if that's the case, they wouldn't have his shoes and clothes at the house. They had the
Right.
shirt, they had the pants, they had the shoes that he was wearing. So at some point, them clothes made it back to the house at least. I'm not saying he did, but those clothes did, unless she stripped him naked somewhere, which I doubt somebody would do that.
I'm
I think
thinking that
he made it back to the house that night and something transpired. What? That's the $1 million question. Want to add to that, map?
the thump,
The thud.
thud.
She said thud. That was the key word.
That
Thud.
was the
Yeah,
key word.
thud.
Thud.
Not
It was a
thump,
thud.
thud.
Yeah. A thump is a different sound than a thud. A thud, I think of when
Thud-
you hit a
Thud is little more
watermelon.
violent.
Like when you tap on a watermelon, it makes a thud sound, or something hits the floor, makes a thud sound.
Thud
So
is a little more serious than a
the
thump.
crazy thing is she never went in there to check on him, you
Yeah.
know,
And he
and
had that.
and the fact that all the doors were locked when she woke up that morning.
Isn't it true that Sebastian had some kind of a syndrome where he got hit on the head at a right place?
Yes, he
Yeah.
was born with
Yeah.
fluid on the brain.
Yeah.
So he couldn't take a good hit to the head or something like
that
that.
thud could have ended him in his
Yeah,
room.
if he fell or yeah, absolutely. And then but most of the time if something like that was happening, why would you cover it up and not just call the paramedics?
You just
Right.
usually you just call 911. You wouldn't want to call your husband for 3-hour talk.
Well, yeah, definitely, because it was right around the time he went to bed that they started talking. You know, I've always been suspicious of that 3-hour phone call myself because I don't think most married couples talk to each other that long. But PJ says, you know, she'd be like, well, Chris would get online and talk to on panels for 4 hours at a time. So maybe he is a talker. I mean, I don't know. I just always found that a little suspicious myself.
I highly suspicious.
But we got to think about this too. Katie raised this boy to be 15 years old. Why would she just all of a sudden unalive him? You know what I'm saying? Or
I
why
think
why would she cover something up? I've never been able to figure out the motive.
I think he became more and more difficult to
take
handle
care of?
because of his stepfather clashing with him.
Yeah, I'm sure that was getting a little bit worse, you know. And you can tell
Maybe-
that from Chris himself that their interactions were getting a little more difficult.
And the way he talked about him was not good.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Well,
agree.
maybe the older that Sebastian was getting, he just got a little more tougher. You know, he wasn't gonna take the crap no more.
Yeah, or it started to stand up and it
Yeah,
caused
that's what
even
I'm
more
saying.
problems, you know. Because you tell a kid to do something, then they start refusing to do it, then that escalates the situation even more. But if we look at some of the stuff, at some point, you know, I know some people would disagree with, but Chris was taught him how to ride a bike, was letting him use the
I
excavator.
never said Chris was a bad stepdad. I never said that.
You know, but what I'm thinking is you know, what point did it escalate at? Because at some point he seemed like a good guy from the videos we've seen anyway.
Well, I don't know if he's a good guy or not, and I don't know if it's Sebastian. Well, usually, yeah, stepchildren have something against their step parent. I don't know why, but it always.
Yeah, I
seems
can tell you
to-
that having a step mother, like for me, you know, baby Mab, when Mrs. Mab came into the picture, there was some difficulty.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like,
And
you know,
there was no problem.
I got Ava. She just looks at me like I'm crazy. She don't really She don't
Right, but
argue
she
with
don't
me or
tell you
fight
what
with me.
she really thinks either.
Probably not. I know she thinks I'm an idiot. Because she looks at me like I'm an idiot. She look over at me, but I just make some stupid jokes to her, and she'll look at me like I'm a, you know what I'm saying? But she ain't a little kid, so she knows an idiot.
I had 4 stepchildren, and man, they gave me hello.
Look, so we were watching the fight earlier, and it was Valentina Shevchenko versus Wang Lee. And I looked over at Ava. I said, that could be you. And that's you, but you driving a Lambo and living in a mansion. She looked over at me like I was crazy. I was like, okay.
That was the women's fight, right?
That was the women's fight. And she's a 14-year-old girl. So I figured, hey, you start training now, you could have a mansion and a Lambo. And she looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, all right, that's the quickest way to a Lambo and a mansion. You may go a different route, but that's the quickest way.
Have you ever heard of Dakota Ditchova? She is one badass woman, boy. She won the PFL $1 million.
I don't watch the PFL too much, so I haven't heard of her.
Dana White's looking at her hard.
Okay, all right. Let's jump back into this.
Cell phone at the house, but the cell phone is at the house. His cell phone's at the house. His money is at the house.
Right. Do they have his cell phone? Well, like, is his cell phone? Did they track the route from the restaurant back home to see if it was a direct route? Did they check?
Vinny, they did that. Vinny knows good and well. I think Vinny's smarter than that. He knows the answer to that question. I think the police.
No, he thought Karen Reed was innocent.
Yeah, he did think Karen Reed was innocent. He did think that. I sometimes think the police ain't the best, but I don't think they're that stupid. If we're smart enough to would check that, I think the police detectives are definitely smart enough to go, okay, we need to check the data on the phones. So not only do they have his phone, which he was playing on at the restaurant, they have his shoes, they have his pants, they have his shirt, they have everything he was wearing. So, I mean, I would say the odds are just odds, playing the odds, that he did make. There's no 100% dead proof that he made it back to the house.
Right.
I'm dead probably wasn't the word to use. But I would say it's highly likely that he was at the house.
Yeah.
All the cameras, did they check license plate readers? Did they check surveillance video from whether it's convenience stores or traffic cameras? I don't know what exists in Hendersonville, but were they able to?
A whole lot of nothing exists. That's what's there. I mean, there's a church, there's a school, there's a little gas station where they live. It's mostly a wooded, remote area.
That's
where they're at. There's one major highway. There's Johnny Cash Boulevard. Okay. And that is where all the rest, that's where the bowling alley is off of, right off of Johnny Cash Boulevard. And most of the businesses, like when I had my oil change in the camper truck, I did it on Johnny Cash Boulevard at the like Take 5 or one of those oil changing places. But most of the businesses are right there on Johnny Cash Boulevard. They have a highway name for it, but it's actually Johnny Cash Boulevard. And most of the stuff is right there. So if you're in a rural area, to get to anything remotely like food or restaurants or any of that, you're going to end up on Johnny Cash Boulevard.
I don't see him having any license plate readers or anything.
Well, see, that's what I was going to ask. Is there
Not
any
in
in
the
the
remote,
area?
not in the remote areas, probably. Because where they live at it's like, okay, there's a school, so there's probably cameras around that school area. And then when you get past the school, there's like a church, because I parked in that church parking lot, and then there's the neighborhood that has the retention ponds, and then you go up one more street, and that's where Sebastian Rogers lived. And then there's another street that goes up on a hill where them lights were at, shining up.
There was units under construction there, as I remember.
Yeah, well, the neighborhood, but it's a neighborhood that people are living in while they're building in the neighborhood.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Some houses are already occupied. and some houses are being built. So, but that's just a neighborhood adjacent to Sebastian Rogers neighborhood. So it's like two neighborhoods. And then when you go up to the top of the neighborhood, that's where the construction site is. And that leads over to the next neighborhood. So say if you was walking and you walked up where the construction site was, you could walk right into the other neighborhood.
Oh yeah, you showed us that with your drone.
Yeah.
we seen
And
that.
also remember when the what was the lady, the private investigator was talking about the breezeway between Katie and Chris's house, and she said, I own that. Well, their house ain't the only house like that. So you can walk straight from Sebastian's house onto the next street. And if you walk down a little bit, you can walk through another one and go right into the other neighborhood too. So they're not the only people that have that little breezeway. I don't know why people don't close it in. I guess because they're out there walking their dogs and stuff like that. And, you know, because my fences would butt up to my neighbors, like in my neighborhood. You can't walk between people's houses like that. That's a little
Normally,
weird.
there'd be a fence around your whole property, right?
Yeah. If I was them, I would move the fence to clear that area so people wouldn't walk between it. Would you want people walking behind your house or beside your house?
No. Maybe
That's what I'm
that's
saying.
a homeowners association thing.
No, I don't think so, because she said she owns half of it and the neighbor owns half of it. Well, they should have put their fence 1.5 foot out farther than it is. You know, which is weird to me because I wouldn't want nobody walking behind my house or beside my house. If I seen you beside my house, I would think you was a burglar.
Is there two fences between the houses or just one?
Yeah, there's two. There's a fence on the right and there's a fence on the left, but there's a gap between them big enough for people to walk through.
But not, how big is the gap?
I would say 3 foot, maybe.
Oh,
Where two people could walk side by side and walk through it.
That's
I
weird.
don't see that stuff around here.
Yeah, it ain't like that around here either. You can't. My neighbors' houses, their fences butt up against each other.
Right.
So you can't. Yeah, you can't walk between people's houses, especially where I live at. You get shot around here. I live in the hood. You go walking through people's yards like that if you want. You won't do it for long.
Yeah, I'm from Kentucky, so.
Yeah, and especially when you live in the middle of nowhere, people ain't supposed to be in your yard anyway. They ain't there for anything good.
No.
So that's why a lot of these rural areas that if you're trespassing, people can shoot you, is because you shouldn't be in. We live in the middle of nowhere. There's no reason in this world you should be in my yard.
Right.
Especially at my front door or at my window.
Yeah, you at my window. I might if you trying to get in my house, we got this law where you're supposed to go to the farthest point of your house, and if somebody comes in, you can.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not doing
That's
all
the same
that.
law here. I'm a Commonwealth state too.
You come in on 2 feet, you're leaving on a stretcher.
Yeah, you come through my front door, and that's how far you're going to make it. If I don't get you, PJ is. I'm pretty sure PJ is going to get you first.
Yeah.
But yeah, you ain't going to make it. Then I'll drag you to the back room. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
that's a weird law that you have to.
Nobody.
You have to run to the farthest point of your house. And then here in Virginia, yeah. If somebody breaks into my living room, I have to come to my bedroom, shut the door, and if they come into my bedroom, then I can fire on you. But if you just come through my door, I can't. Now you come through my door armed, I can.
Where we at? That makes no sense whatsoever.
No, we're Commonwealth states. They got their own laws, man.
Yeah, like if you pull up to your house and there's somebody walking out the door with your TV, you can't fire on them.
No, I wouldn't fire on somebody like that. I just beat the out of them and take my TV back.
You can't even do that.
I would do that.
That's assault. Now, technically, you could hold them. You could hold them until the police got there, but you can't beat them. Then you done assaulted them. Now there's 2 crimes been committed: burglary and you assaulting the burglar.
He's getting ready to throw my TV at me.
Yeah, most likely, like Tony said, they'll drop the assault charge and get the person for burglary. But it's still 2 different crimes that have been committed. It's weird.
Right.
like Commonwealth states, they're funny about the law. It's like, who is the law there? Is it there to protect the criminals?
It is
Kind
so
of.
stupid. It is ignorant.
And then, like I said, in my city, you can have a firearm, but the clip can't be accessible to the firearm. Why the hell would you need the firearm if the clip can't be accessible to it? So you can keep the gun or your firearm under the seat or on the floorboard, but your clip has to be in the glove box or the trunk.
Yeah, it don't make no sense. But that's the same way
Mine,
here.
when I carry mine, it's ready to go.
I know, but if you go to like Virginia Beach, it's different by city to city here and where I'm at, because Virginia Beach, you can have it chambered and everything. You just can't in my city, which I think is stupid.
I'm
Like,
supposed to know as an owner, as a carrier, which law pertains to which little block.
you'll know when they pull you over.
Yep.
When you get pulled over and they say, do you have do you have any weapons in the car? And you go, yeah. They'll go, well, is the clip accessible to it? And if you go, yeah, well, then you just broke the law. If you in certain cities like Norfolk, Virginia Beach, it don't matter. Just here where I live, it matters. I think it's the stupidest thing ever.
Me too. I think all laws should be the same everywhere.
Because you think about this, criminals don't care about your law.
Exactly.
No,
Right?
they
Their stuff's going to be ready to rob you with, and then you got to put your shit together, even defend yourself. You're a little behind the curveball there.
You know, let me.
Hey, that's why we all getting killed today.
You know, so all right, back to the Sebastian.
At the
bad.
drive home was in the appropriate amount of time that it takes to get from point A to point B, and did it take the route that you would expect them to take? And if they did, is there any sort of corroborating evidence, video, digital evidence? That's what I want to see here.
And there's not. I mean, unless they're not.
They may not have released it, but like,
Right.
I think they should, instead of just giving us a narrative, right? Which is kind of what the FBI is doing. Say, okay, we verified it, X, Y, and Z, but it's not really playing out that way. Here's the next part, and this is what you're talking about, Al. And this is the really strange part. Katie told us a little bit before 10 p.m. She heard a loud bang coming from Sebastian's room, so she yelled out to him to ask if he was okay, to which he responded that he was. Said Detective Brandon Carter from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. She told him to go to bed because they had to be up early for school the next morning. You know, boom. Are you okay? Yeah. All right, get ready for school. So it's a situation like that. Does that make sense?
No.
Does that make sense to you as, mom home alone with her child who is a child with autism, but it's functioning. He's high functioning.
That's you see, these are the kind of little factoids that always send up flags to me. There's almost too much detail and then not enough detail.
Exactly.
There's a loud bang and she doesn't investigate. The child is a special needs. I mean, he's high functioning, but still has special needs. And anytime there is a bang in my house or anything along those lines, I will investigate. I mean, I may yell, just say, you okay? And then I walk
That's what
in
she
and
did.
go,
She yelled.
But then I would walk in and go, so what happened?
What was that? What was that? Like,
What
there would be,
happened there? Right. And that
I do that too. I do the investigation. Well, what?
What about you, Mac? Now, me, if I heard a thud, I would check on it.
I'd check it
Yeah.
for sure.
What about you, Tony?
Well, it depends. If I holler back and they answer me and said, "Oh, everything's cool," I'll drop such and such. I'll be like, "All right, cool." Go to
Yeah,
bed.
maybe so too. But in the beginning, she never said that Sebastian answered her back. The first original story was she just heard a thud and she didn't go to check on it. Then after she caught a bunch of hell on the internet, she said that he hollered back. She added to the story. She never changed the story, but she added to the story.
Which is
Yeah,
changing.
you said that in the beginning, and I was trying to figure out what she's talking about. Yeah, so
You got to
okay, that's what
remember,
she had.
a story with an omission is still changing the story if you add to it, in my mind.
Yeah, it's still changing the story. Like, or you, I don't know.
Or
The
you
story,
was
like I
just
said, the
talking
story
so
itself didn't change. She told the same story. She
right.
just added to the story. So
So maybe we'll give her this now. I mean, I'm not saying it's good. This just I'm throwing this out there. Maybe she was talking so fast to hurry up and try to get the story out that she forgot to add certain things into it.
No,
yeah,
That's possible.
totally detailed about the colossal popcorn and all this crap. She
I mean, I don't know.
she
I'm
added to
just
the
saying,
story
maybe.
because she needed to add to the story.
I think she added to the story because she was getting backlash off the internet, and they have been watching everything that was being said on the internet. So she was like, "Oh, they're judging me for not checking on them." So
And
then the next time she told the story, she said, "Yeah, I hollered out to him, and he said he was okay. I love you, mom, and the dogs." But the
Oh
very
remember,
yeah,
first,
I remember that now. Yep,
yeah, but the
you're
very
right.
first time she told the story, she just said, "I heard a thud" and didn't check on it. You
Right.
you got
know,
to
Yeah,
remember,
I
not all
remember that now.
cases blow up on the internet like this. This could have been. This could have
I
been
don't
a
smoke no
load.
more. My memory's a lot better. So
Mine is gone.
yeah, so my memory's a little bit better than it used to be. So I remember the first story she told, and the story, like I said, she always has told the same story, and she added to it. She didn't take away from the story and that, but she added little pieces to it because I think she was being judged, and at first
To
she was
me,
trying to get ahead of it, and then she realized there's no getting ahead of this, and then she shut completely down.
Well, see,
yeah,
without you
and
even saying
to
her
me,
trying to get
adding to the
ahead of
story
this.
is changing the story.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
besides you saying her trying to get ahead of this, you said this long before, man. She just keeps adding to her story.
Hey,
You wasn't even
Jody.
trying. You wasn't even
Jody,
trying to
I
say
see
nothing
you.
bad.
I see you back there. You can turn your camera off.
What?
Jody, she's in the backstage. Hey,
Oh, I
Jody.
thought you said
Hey,
something.
I see you back there. You got to turn me off in the background. You got to.
yeah, I'm doing it. Okay, is that good?
Yeah. Is there something
Okay,
you want to add to what we were saying?
yeah, I think she changed her story um, by adding to it because she was getting the backlash,
Mm-hmm.
and I do not believe that he was like, "Oh, love you, mom, love you, puppies." That's that. Mm-mm. What kid? I'm
I
sorry, but
agree.
no
I
kid
agree,
says
Jody.
all that. And
And
I,
you want me to tell you one thing that was strange to me, and this is something I noticed just the other day when Katie was talking to Heather, the PI, and Chris was on the phone. You could hear the dogs in the background going crazy.
mhm.
How did Sebastian get out that house without them dogs going crazy? Or unless they didn't bark
Oh,
at him because they were used to him.
No, when you open a door, those little dogs bark.
I mean, when I open the door, the dogs don't bark. But if there's somebody outside, they bark like crazy.
Mm.
Yeah.
You
man.
know, because I got two little dogs now. Like if I walk outside, they won't bark at me. But if I go outside and start making noise, they will bark because they don't know who is making the noise once I'm outside. So
Mine bark. They're chihuahuas, but they bark.
Oh, they bark
yeah,
at
I
me.
have a Chihuahua and a French Bulldog. So
Mm.
say if I got up right now, walked out the door, they wouldn't bark. But if I walked outside and opened the car door and shut it, they would start going off in the house because they don't know who's making the noise outside. But when I'm in the house, they don't bark at me because they're used to me. So maybe that's the case with Sebastian is how the dogs didn't go crazy because you could hear them going crazy when she was on the phone with or at the door with the Heather PI lady.
Okay, so what you're saying, Dolly, is that he could walk out without the dogs acting up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right.
But if he started
Just
making
making
noise
sure.
outside, them dogs wouldn't know who was making the noise and they'd start barking.
Right, right. Okay, I was just making sure that's what you said.
Yeah. And
And
like
another,
I got little dogs, so I get
yeah.
it.
Here's another thing that I found weird is that at the beginning, when this first happened, it seemed like they were saying Sebastian was like not high functioning.
Absolutely. That changed too.
Yeah, I thought he was like couldn't he was nonverbal and stuff.
Where,
And they put
where,
out the Amber Alert because you thought he was so low functioning, but come to find out he was high functioning. And that first interviews they did, they made him sound like he was needed a drool rag and full-time assistance.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
wearing
what
diapers and everything like that.
Yeah,
That's
so
what it
that's
said.
and because they wouldn't have even really issued an Amber Alert for him because there was no vehicle, there was no signs of abduction. Why was there even an Amber Alert? And the medicine he took wasn't life-threatening medicine because he took medicine just to help him sleep. Seth said that.
Okay, look, one of the people in the chat says, "What about that mattress in the garage?"
Oh,
Well, I think the mattress was still there, and they said that mattress was given to him because that was going to be Faith's mattress.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know. I'm a little skeptical of that too because apparently Sebastian was wet in the bed.
So maybe they made him sleep in there for punishment or something.
Maybe, but that's a big maybe. She don't
Yeah.
say he was in the garage or he slept in the garage. And I mean, I don't know how their house is set up, but most people's garages have heat. Thank you, Sheila, for your donation. So,
I have another point to bring up,
okay.
and it's kind of triggering if there's anybody watching that doesn't want to listen. Didn't Chris have a cousin or something that worked at a crematorium?
No, I think they had a family member that worked at a funeral home, but just because you work at a funeral home, every funeral home don't have a crematorium in it. Crematoriums are usually separate from some funeral homes do, but I think
Actually, I've never seen one together.
usually here they're separated. Like there's a crematorium and then there's a funeral home. They don't burn the bodies at the funeral home. But I think they had a distant family member that worked in a funeral home, right? But let me tell you this though: if you was a family member of somebody, would you put yourself in prison behind your cousin?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, like I like my cousin. We grew up together. He's a teacher, but I wouldn't put him in a situation where he would go to prison for the rest of his life for doing something like that. And it wasn't working at a crematorium. It was I think a cousin or something that worked at a funeral home.
I've just
Seemed
always
like,
thought that. Go ahead, Mab.
It seemed like the Sour Socks were kind of acting strange, following people around, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean they were a little. It got a little strange, I think, but I mean I don't know. I honestly don't think they went and disposed of them through a cousin at a funeral. I mean, is it possible? I mean, anything's possible. Let's be honest. Some people said he was burnt in a dumpster at the construction site. I mean, I've heard so many different theories. Alaska. Remember, he was in Alaska. He was in a group home.
Yeah, so that group home thing, there was some information corroborating that story, correct?
Well, yeah, because they were technically looking to put him in a group home, but at the time, Seth couldn't afford it, and Seth was looking into other options and stuff like that.
Tells me that both parties were looking into getting him out of their parental.
It's very sad. It sounds like nobody wanted him.
Well, I mean, no, you can want your kid and your kid need help. A lot of people have made this clear to me that they have special needs kids.
Okay.
And remember Alex that calls in, Turtle Island, he's special need. His mom said, there was a time I had to put Alex in the hospital. I couldn't control him. and she loves her son, but she couldn't handle what was going on, and he needed help, so she put him into a hospital until he was better, and then got him out of the hospital.
Well, I think Katie hated. Didn't Katie hate Seth? She didn't
No,
want.
this is where this gets crazy. Katie and Seth, believe it or not, from what I understand, got along really good until this happened.
Yeah, and
Until the GoFundMe.
Chris even got
Yes.
Chris
Help.
even kind of helped him get that job, right?
Yes. And he came there to Tennessee because Chris and Katie were there. They would have like damn movie nights and shit together, and they would all hang out.
Mm.
Chris didn't have a problem with Seth, and he was allowing Seth to be in Sebastian's life. And, you know, a lot of times you get a new man in your life, they don't want the other baby daddy around, you know, but Chris didn't seem to be like that. And him and Katie would talk on the phone all the time, and they got along fine. And you got to remember when it happened, they called him. He came over there. He was there for the first 3 days with them. And they all sat around and talked about not raising money. And then what do you know? As soon as Seth leaves, he starts raising money.
Well, sister raised money.
Well, that's what he says.
Same thing.
Same
Oh.
thing.
But it was only because he didn't have to pay taxes.
Well, she would have to pay taxes.
No, he was going to try to get his unemployment. That's what.
Yeah, he's unemployment or disability, maybe. So he put it in somebody else's name.
Right. That's what
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. You know, you trying to duck the government and still get your benefits, and you can't be having all this money.
Right.
What happened to 1202?
And he kind of vanished, didn't he?
I'm sitting right here.
You're sitting right here. Totally different Tony. Totally different Tony than TikTok.
I'm playing.
They would have been better. They would have been better off with you on their team, Tony, than TikTok, Tony.
Hey, you ain't kidding.
You ain't kidding, right? But like, hey.
Because this thing with the selling of shirts and tumblers and stuff, I mean, if it's not going to searches and things like that for Sebastian, that wouldn't be right.
That's what I said. I think it's only fair that if you're going to have something that you're profiting off of, it should go to both family members. Like one family member shouldn't be profiting unless you're, and like I said, like I would support Seth in all this if he would go, okay, hey, I'm using this money to damn search or to get a searcher in here, or because then I would donate to it. You know what I'm saying? But if none of this money is going to help Sebastian, it's just going to help you, and you're not doing nothing now to look for Sebastian, like I don't see why I don't get it. Where's the money going? What are you doing with it?
All right, Dolly, I gotta say something, man. I gotta say it. I have to. From day one, Seth Rogers has been my number one suspect.
I agree, Tony.
You think he's your number one, Seth?
Yes.
What do you think he told Sebastian to meet him outside, or Sebastian left the house?
Possible. I ain't saying how or why, but I'm
Well,
saying.
you know, I thought about this
from
too.
Day
Like,
one, seriously, from day one, I said Seth is the one that done this.
because you know, Seth has access to a lot of criminals because he's a correctional officer.
Exactly.
And you notice when Seth picked his friends, he picked all the bad people.
Yep.
I mean, I thought that
you know
too.
who Damon Darwin is?
Yes. That's who's at the intro of my video.
A correctional officer.
I thought he was in jail. No, I think he was a correctional officer for a little bit.
He sure was.
You know, the guy in the beginning of my video is like, "Hey, bub, you're watching Dolly Vision." That's Damon Darwin.
Oh yeah, you got him. Yeah, you got him now. Yeah, him.
I wondered
Damon
who that
Darwin.
was.
Huh?
Black guy?
I wondered who that was.
Yeah, the black guy in
Damon
the very
Darwin, Bob.
the Meemaw. Yeah, he does the Meemaw
Got a dollar?
coffee. Got a dollar? Got a dollar, bub?
He's
That's
got the
who
Meemaw coffee too, boys.
Yeah. So when you watch my intro in the very beginning, there's a black dude with like some braids in his hair, and he goes, "Hey, bub, you're watching Dolly Vision." That's Damon Darwin, the comedian.
He's crazy.
He's huge on like TikTok and shit.
Oh, I should have
Right?
knew you knew him then. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he is on front of your video.
Yeah. I met him in Virginia Beach. That's where he shot that little clip for me that was like, "Hey, bub, you're watching Dolly Vision."
Yeah, that's cool.
Because that's like his catchphrase. "Hey, bub, you got $1?" Right?
Yeah, nah.
So I got him to sign a dollar bill for me that's in there in a little frame that I got in my
Did he
living
give
room.
you one?
No, I gave him my own dollar to sign. I pulled out $1. It's like, "Will you sign
No,
$1
man,
for me?"
give me one signed.
What
Nah,
makes you think it's Seth, you guys?
I
Well,
don't
wait.
think it's Seth.
No.
I gotta clarify.
No, I know it is.
I-
It's
I gotta clarify.
I'll shut up. Go ahead.
It's one or the other. I know that. There's
Yeah,
there's
of course.
points on both sides. So when Tony said that, I got all excited. There's points on both sides. Sorry, but
Yeah.
Seth to me is a shady character. That's all I want to say.
Well, I was kind of surprised when the whole green team fell apart that people didn't come out and leak things.
Oh my God, that's what I couldn't. That's when
I think they all had to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
With the whole media
They didn't
agents,
do
the
nothing.
fake intelligence agency.
Yep.
Yeah, they didn't do a daggum thing.
Otherwise,
Where's
it
They
would have
did
been.
nothing. They just store up.
Yeah, but see, me myself,
Service.
I don't think Seth had anything to do with it. Me myself,
Man,
you
come
know,
on.
I know
dog.
he has
Think about
access.
it.
He has more access to criminals than Chris and Katie do
Think-
because
I mean, but
he's
think
watching
about it.
over them all the time. And at first, I thought, well, did he piss somebody off and they went after his son?
No,
Then
I doubt that.
And because you can't rule that out because he is a correctional officer,
I
and
know, but I doubt that.
somebody could get mad at him, or somebody could owe him a favor for him looking out for them in the jail, and it has something to do with his son. So, I mean, I can understand why people could think Seth had something to do with it. I just myself don't think that's the case.
I
You
think the
know what turned me
logical.
off on Seth at the very beginning? His team, his volunteers, or his people, his detectives. None of them were his. He
There's
wasn't.
I would say they're his sons or Sebastian's people.
Yeah, he wasn't paying anybody. He wasn't doing anything. But everything was his, and he was so excited to be somebody.
Kitty Hawk says a 50,000 reward. They don't give that reward like that for runaways. They do for missing kids, and he's just missing. There's no proof he ran away, and there's no proof that he didn't run away. He's just missing.
But then
Right?
to go back to the other side, Chris said this will be talking about this
For years.
and he's right.
Yeah.
He was right.
Yeah,
The
and we're
only
going on
logical
2
conclusion
years.
is that something happened between the time he got home from the Texas Roadhouse until the sun came up.
Yes.
Something happened. It may have been an accidental overdose on medications or whatever. Something happened that would have been bad if it were found out, and that she was going to get in trouble if it was found out. So they had the 3-hour call to figure out what to do. And Chris walked her through the steps of what to do and where to go and all that.
Well, you got to think about it like this. Why would Seth start a GoFundMe after 3 days? How did they know the kid wasn't going to be found? That's a little, you're not going to go to work for the next few months. How do you know it's going to last that long if the kid is just missing? So I get what she's saying about Chris saying it's going to be years, because that's awful odd to say. But starting a GoFundMe so quickly in a case, that's kind of odd too. So, I mean,
They're all suspicious.
I would say,
Maybe-
everybody's a little suspicious in this.
Maybe they informed Seth about what happened eventually.
I remember when they said that you will find him at church. Right? I think he was telling Seth he needed.
I do remember that, and that really tripped me out.
Yeah, I think that was him trying to make a point that you need some Jesus, or something.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would say some things like that. There were some things said that were really, truly odd in this case, right? For parents of missing kids on both sides to say, but
Definitely.
if everything goes the way it's continuing to go, Sebastian Rogers is never going to be found. Something has to change, and I think it needs to start with the parents themselves. If they're not responsible, they should all be working together. They should be putting search parties together. They should be doing the best they can to find their son. Really, we're not seeing that now. I don't know what I don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. There's no way to tell, right? There's really no way to know what they're doing unless they tell us.
Right.
But publicly, it appears that they're not doing very much. I can't say what they're really doing because I'm not there with them.
Well, let's everybody on panel either say yes or no. Yes meaning alive, no meaning gone.
I say no, he's gone.
No. It's
No.
gone.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement that Sebastian Rogers is not with us anymore. I think even if we ask the chat room in the chat, there's 700 of you here. If you believe Sebastian Rogers is still with us, press 1. If you don't, press 2 and like the video. Okay. If you're pressing 2, like the video. If you believe he's gone, press 2.
Then tell us where you're from.
And tell us where you're from, of course. Listen to Mab. I see nothing but 2s. I don't see no 1s. I don't think people believe some. Wait, there's 1.
Okay.
All right, there's 1 person. 1 person got a little hope in her heart. So
I think Chris and Katie would like it. This is my opinion. Would like it if everybody shut up.
I would think that too, but why would Chris and Katie? Chris has reached out to me.
Well, they've got to look a little bit like they want it solved.
I guess. I mean, if you are responsible, maybe so.
I've watched so much true crime. I'm very.
But I think you would avoid people that talk about it so they would move on. I don't think you would want to stir the hornet's nest. That's just my thought. But I mean, I could be wrong.
I think Chris likes the attention as much as Seth does.
Yeah.
I look at them a little bit like they needed a little bit of attention, and not that they purposely created attention, but like Seth, I don't think Seth was like a super cool guy and was like had a whole ton of friends, and I just don't know. He just don't come across like that to me. He seems so awkward, and like I think if genetically he is the closest one to having autism myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
He's a grown man. He plays with not Dungeons and Dragons. What's the other one? Gathering of the whatever the damn
Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering. I ain't saying that makes you autistic, but I'm saying he has tendency to be a little more autistic acting than say Katie.
Yeah.
I don't know what genetics the boy got, but I would say that if we had to rank one of those 2 people closer to the spectrum, I would say Seth Rogers is closer to the spectrum than Katie is.
Agree.
I don't know if he has any disabilities. I don't know. I just say that he's a little more has a weird kind of vibe to him. And usually, people with autism are a little awkward,
Yeah.
And I don't know who this CP special needs loser is, but I don't think that's one of them. And it says, I am not a control freak, but people, please don't come in here using anybody's names and acting like you're somebody or something like that. That's just not cool.
Ain't that stupid?
Yeah, people do anything for a little bit of attention. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. Thank you for listening.
All right, Jody, you be good.
All right,
Jody.
bye
All right,
bye.
Jody.
All right.
Jody.
So I think we were all on the same page on that one. That
Yeah.
Sebastian ain't with us, but let's jump a little more into this, and then I want to go into a little bit of that Ashley Buzzard stuff before I got to get out of here myself tonight.
What was that noise?
Yeah.
What was that loud bang?
Yeah, the first thing you yell is like, "Are you okay?" And then you get up and you walk in and you go, "So what went on here? What happened? What something fall? Did you break something? What's the situation?" That's
Jones, what was that loud banging coming from your room last night, Jonesy? What was that?
You know, people, I don't know, people might take this the wrong way, right? But I don't have children. But if I have a cat who can be troublesome and can get herself in.
It says CP special needs loser. I am CP. CP would not make his name that. Okay. And if that is the case, CP, send me a message on Facebook. All right.
Trouble. And I'll be doing a radio show or whatever, and I'll hear some noises, something going on out there, or I'll hear a cry. And okay, she doesn't speak English, but I do ask, what are you doing out there? But I get up, I go and I check to make sure that she hasn't gotten herself in any kind of trouble, because she is prone to that sort of thing. And I realize some people would say, well, it's just a cat, right? But okay, so maybe that's my point. To me, that cat means a lot. And if you say it's just a cat, there's no comparison. Well, of course there's not, but I still check because I care.
Now, let's get to the next line here. This is a significant line. Katie called her husband, who was out of town in Southwest Tennessee for work, and the two of them spoke for nearly 2 hours before she went to sleep around midnight. Now, that's something through phone records that could obviously be corroborated, a 2-hour conversation. But do you find a 2-hour conversation with your spouse who is away suspicious? Does anyone find that suspicious? I mean, if in fact the records show a 2-hour conversation?
I would think that depends, really. I mean, when we were away, and I would call Gina, there were very brief conversations because we were busy, and
you're talking about Crime Con.
Yeah. When we went to Crime Con, I would check in like when I go back to the room, but they were very brief. It was like,
I had to agree with Josie there. Like, even when I'm out of town, like me and PJ may talk a bunch of times throughout the day, but they're all brief, short conversations.
Yeah.
She'll call me up and be like, well, your phone's lagging, or you need some food, or like something quick, we discuss for a couple minutes. And then of course, when I get back to the room, I call her, talk to her for about, 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes. But I can't think of none of the conversations that ever lasted an hour.
Right.
Unless
it's after a breakup or something.
Maybe. I don't know. We ain't never broke up, so I don't know. I don't know how to judge that.
I mean, maybe you have a conversation like that after a breakup, maybe.
And they've been together. Chris and Katie had been together for 7 years. That's a long time to talk to somebody you've been with 7 years.
My phone calls are 30 seconds to 1 minute. That's it. And then after that.
I'm pretty quick on the phone too. I'm not a big phone person. You would think I would talk on the phone longer, seeing I sit up here on YouTube and talk for hours. But usually on the phone, I'm real brief. Like even my daughter, when I talk to her, they're probably the longest phone calls is when I talk to Tiff. I usually talk to her for about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, because she's gotta get all her story in.
Yeah, like she won't let you off the phone. I'll be like, I'll try to get off, and she'd be like, I wasn't done talking. You know what I'm saying? So Tiff would be like,
son's the same way, bro.
she's like, why are you trying to get me off the phone? Tiff is like that. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, well, Tiff, I'm trying to do something. Or when she calls me and I'm live, I keep it real brief. But I let her know, hey, I'm live. I'll call you after this or so-and-so. And then she'll just still be like, well, mute me. I got something to say. So either way, she's going to get out what she wants to get out. But me and PJ, we talk, like I said, just real briefly. I can't never think of any relationship I've been on. Maybe when I first was trying to get up with somebody, we would talk for a while to get to know each other. And I may have sat on the phone for a couple hours or an hour, but years in, I don't see what you would have to say that you haven't said 1,000 times. PJ's already, we've been together 3 years. She's unheard every one of my stories. She probably could tell them, so there ain't nothing really new.
No, I've heard all of your stories.
There you go, man. You've been here 3
I
years,
think
y'all.
I have too.
There you go. So everybody knows all my stories, so it ain't nothing new, right? I ain't got nothing new to add to it unless I make up something.
Oh, let me give you a quick story. I'll make it short, I promise.
Okay.
Last time I talked to my son, well, it wasn't the last time, but I called him up. I hadn't talked to him in a couple weeks because he's working all the time. Okay, here, let me make it short. He hit me up and he said, "Hey, Dad, I hit a buck." I said, "You did?" He said, "Yep, totaled my car." I
Damn.
said, "Well," I said, "Are you alive?" He said, "Yep, didn't get a scratch on me." I said, "What about the car?" He said, "Yeah, it'll still run, but there ain't no parts to it." I said, "Well, throw the thing on there so I can get some meat."
Put a thing on it so you can get some meat. I hear you.
Dress
Cook
that
'em up.
thing out.
As
Cook
long
'em
as he's
up.
all right, you know.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. All right, we're gonna jump back into this, and I'm gonna kick over into something else in just a couple minutes.
You know, we're having a great time, blah, blah, blah. But I would imagine it would depend. I mean, has she elaborated on what they spoke about for 2 hours?
Yeah. Well, I think there's been some talk about that, but I think, but we don't know. We don't know what they spoke about. So the question is a 2-hour conversation the night before or around the time that a teenager goes missing, is that in and of itself suspicious?
Well, I will tell you this. I think the loud bang thing is the most suspicious thing of all.
That's before that's allegedly before the conversation.
And that's before the conversation. But the problem I have with that, it's like, it's one of those things that if you're getting involved in it's almost like, Ola Man. Okay. There's just a weird detail that kind of comes in out of the blue that would not ordinarily be something you'd be bringing up in a conversation. And the loud bang, and then the fact that she didn't investigate it. I mean, she's on the phone with her husband for 2 hours. Does she mention the loud bang? And if she does he say, well, did you just go take a look and see what the hell's going on there? I mean, it's a 2-hour.
What is that kid up to? What is that teenager up to? Kind of like, hey.
And that a 2-hour conversation, I'm certainly establishes an alibi, okay, but it is a little out of the ordinary. I think if under the circumstances, I agree with Jonesy. If you're going to be checking in, you're not checking in and having a 2-hour conversation unless you're going over your tax returns, or something along those lines. But that
tax returns.
Yeah. Well, what else? What else? Why would you be on the phone for 2 hours with anybody? Okay.
Hey, babe, how you doing? Yeah.
Can we write off that safe? I don't know. You may talk about tax returns. We bought a safe, and I was like, can I write that off on my taxes? True story. But that's how long the conversation lasted. She was like, well, if it's for the office, you can write it off on your taxes. And I was like, okay, well, let's get the safe. So I can see couples talking about their taxes.
Those are like the conversations we have, Vin. But I mean, those are all private. And
I think 2 hours though, and obviously that's something that can be corroborated. So you're not gonna deny a 2-hour conversation, right? Because if you did something nefarious, right? But if something happened, I could see a 2-hour conversation. If something
DJ CP ended up in chat earlier today. In whose chat? People told him to go up on panel and he said no. Okay. All right.
Horrific happened to Sebastian inside the house, whether it's accidental or whatever happened. Like if something happened to him, I could see a 2-hour conversation about what to do.
That's what I said.
Okay. That's
what's always made me suspicious, that if something happened to them, they could be talking about for hours what to do to handle the situation.
Exactly.
That makes sense. That is something along those lines. It also could be a 2-hour conversation because they're, fooling around on the phone and maybe not necessarily her paying attention to what might be happening with.
Right. Yeah. So it is two things, right? So I like that point, Al. On the one hand, like you could be talking about something that happened, or you are distracted, you're on the phone, something is happening, and you're oblivious to it.
Yeah, I mean, there could be, a dirty phone conversation that you're getting. It happens.
Al's been sexting.
I could conceivably get that for 2 hours, but
For 2 hours?
Well, that and the tax returns. Those
Yeah,
are the two.
I could
Together, be like, hey, baby, you want to talk taxes? Why? That's horrible. That is horrible.
Taxes
Like-
don't turn me on.
yeah, bills. I ain't never one time said, you know what, I'm getting a little excited over this money I owe to IRS.
I could go 2 hours with that.
Only a few times I get that I'd have a conversation that long.
Listen, I'm wearing nothing but a W-2.
I'm wearing nothing but a W.
No, I'm W3, remember.
right.
But like that's conceivably a situation. I mean, they're apart, and there may
Sounds
be something
romantic.
going on along those lines. And then you're not paying attention to what's going on with the child. So,
I have now written everything off.
Katie called her. All right. The next morning was the beginning of what would become a massive search effort for Sebastian. So let's continue the next moment here in this timeline. Katie called her husband again. So this is a call the following morning. Told him she couldn't find Sebastian, that he wasn't in his room or anywhere in the house, said Carter. Katie got into her car, drove around the neighborhood and to Sebastian's school, which was less than a mile from their house, searching for Sebastian before returning home. During this time, her husband called the local emergency communications
Okay, hold on. We must have lost Tony. That you, Tony?
Yes, man.
Okay.
center to report Sebastian is missing. Okay, in the way that breaks down, right? Sebastian's missing. Chris, I can't find Sebastian. I'm going to get in the car. I'm going to go look for him. I'm going to drive to the school. Boom. He calls, I guess, 911 or the emergency communication lines in Hendersonville because he is purportedly out of town at this moment.
Right.
Does that all make sense to everyone here?
No.
Yes and no.
Well, give me the yes first and give me the no.
If I can make one comment before that, because I'm seeing comments on here, 2 hours of dirty talk. Obviously, you people don't have a really good imagination because I could probably go 2 hours on that. All right.
And he'll prove it after the show.
That's
And
right.
by the way, that may be one of the prizes during the Tangent Christmas special is
And
2
Mary-
hours on the phone with Al.
Murray Hill 83939. That's right. Murray Hill 83939.
Guys, we only got 413 likes on this video. We
Come
got
on,
almost
man.
700 people in the chat. Y'all are doing Dolly dirty. If you could do me a favor and hit the like button, would be awesome.
Y'all bush dwellers, come on out.
We've been, for 3 o'clock in the morning, we're up here keeping you entertained the best we can. So at least do us a favor and hit that damn like button. Or I'm going to send Mab to your house to break your tractor.
You get to listen to Al for 2 hours on the phone.
That's right. Well, with a good
That would be a
imagination,
great.
If you don't like the video, I'm going to make Mab call you while he bangs his spoon on the bowl for 2 hours. How about that?
I just ran out of ice cream, man.
You just ran. Oh, shit. You're in trouble.
Emergency
Wow.
here.
2 hours.
And now it doesn't have to be dirty talk, but a 2 hour conversation with Al. And by the way, in the 2 hour conversation, you would get in about 6 to 10 words.
I'd like to know if the Murray Hill number you just gave out was from I Love Lucy. I had a Murray Hill number once on 39th and Lexington.
Oh, really? That wasn't.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I think about that's enough of the tangent right there that we can go on.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm just praying little Sebastian Rogers is found. And, it ain't, the news ain't really been covering it too much. But, when it comes up on the 2-year anniversary, all the news channels do a story on it.
Yeah.
So maybe, on the 1-year anniversary, Katie did come out and speak with the news. Maybe she will again on the 2-year anniversary, which will come up in 3 months?
Yeah, it's the day before my birthday.
February 26th. What's your birthday? 27th?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Man, you got a birthday coming up there, Tony. So,
Yeah.
and then of course, we still have this little girl missing out of California, 9-year-old
Melodee.
Melodee.
Yeah. And it's driving me nuts, man. I've been trying to figure this one out.
And, they still really haven't done anything. I heard they told the mother again she has 3 days to produce the child. And it's been 3 days and she ain't been arrested. So I don't know. Is that like, if she's like, what do they, at this point, what do you do? So if my thing is this, let me ask you this, man, because you're in California. So if this kid never turns up and she never says anything and they can't never prove that she killed her, is it they'll never charge her with anything?
Yep.
That is insane. That is
Yeah.
insane. Hey, Jody, thank you for being here with us.
They blew it by not, if it was me and I was running that police force, whatever, I would have reduced all the pressure off of this woman.
And followed it. I know.
And just followed her after she went back to meet up with her child. But now they've screwed it all up.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think they should have backed off her a little bit and just monitored her phone, tapped her phones, did a little more investigations before they started to harass her about it. And we
They
may
could have
be
slapped an air tag on one of those boxes in the garage. You know what I'm saying?
something. I mean, yeah, something to try to figure out. People saying they're seeing clickbait titles that the mom gave her up to the police. No, she hasn't. There has been no recovery of Melodee. Because it would be all over the national news, and I would be talking about it here right now as we speak, right?
She's with the purple haired lady.
Yeah, if that's really a thing, I hope.
I hear blue. I heard some blue gray. I heard some purple.
Purple, blue, bluish purple. It could be the little girl wearing the wig too. We got to remember that because the little girl has been seen wearing wigs. So is it a situation where the person that was a witness seen it and thought it was a grown woman? It was really her.
Okay, another question is, the question that I've got is the picture of the girl with her natural hair, the curly hair. Natural hair. I guess it was a school picture or something. But the picture of the girl walking in.
Well, the picture of the girl with the curly hair, that was when she was like 7 years old.
Oh, okay.
Or less. 6.
Yeah, that ain't like a recent picture. It's a couple year old picture.
Baby fat and all that, and
yeah,
gotten skinny.
Looks totally different. Looks totally different now.
I don't think Melodee.
So why the wigs though? I mean, I don't get that. I mean, unless she's really wanting to hide her from who though?
I don't know if she has some type of, because we hear she has mental health problems. So if she has some type of delusions that somebody's out to get her, maybe they're thinking that people are trying to get them, so they're wearing disguises. I don't really know. It's hard to tell a motive when you're dealing with people that are crazy.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with a normal person and then all of a sudden they started wearing disguises and shit, you could go, well, they're trying to hide from somebody. But when you get somebody that's crazy, we don't know why the hell she's wearing disguises. She might just like playing dress up and she's nutty.
And we
Well,
know
that's
that
what I'm
she
saying.
went through trauma as a 9-year-old herself.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she went through some stuff when she was a kid, and they just did a little thing on Melanie on Court TV. We're gonna jump into that real quick.
All right.
All right, let me mute.
Let me share the screen. More Vinny. Let me add this. Blah blah blah. Where's the screen at? Where's the screen to share it? Bam. Is that share it? No, that ain't what I'm looking for. Right here.
The country to Nebraska, but somewhere along the way, Melodee disappeared. Days later, Ashley was found alone, and now she's refusing to cooperate. The silence has only deepened suspicion. Then Ashley was arrested on an unrelated charge, accused of falsely imprisoning an acquaintance who came over to her house after Melodee vanished. And now Ashley is one.
Look at the difference in her though with the wigs. Is that her real hair there? I can't really tell what's her real hair. Are you sure?
I think that's her real hair.
Yeah,
no, I think that's her real hair, but
they don't let him,
they've been questioning it.
They don't let them have wigs in jail, I don't think.
In court, she's wearing her plain clothes. They let you dress out for court. Maybe where did she get these clothes?
I don't know. You see her sideburns look a little darker.
That's what I'm saying. Look how far the wig is up on her forehead, or she has a 5 head.
Yeah, somebody said they thought she was actually bald.
That's what I think. She may be bald.
And she just has a bunch of wigs.
She has alopecia.
Well, you'll hear it in this. You'll hear it in this.
All right.
Once again free, released by the judge and back home alone without her daughter Melodee, who is still missing tonight. I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. Melodee Buzzard still missing tonight, but yesterday her mom appeared wigless in court.
Okay, he said wigless. So that's her hair. She's like Curly Sue. And that would make sense because you see Melodee, her hair was really, really curly too.
Yeah.
And I talk about this not to be catty, not to poke fun, but it's a real issue in this case because this is the way she actually looks. Yet when she's out in public, her appearance changes. As a matter of fact, when she took that trip, her and her daughter were both disguised in wigs. Purposeful conduct
has a wig on.
by Ashley Buzzard, especially with her.
I mean, it looks like she has a wig when they show her walking and stuff. I mean, I don't know what her hair was like before this, so it's hard to tell. But she does have a hoodie on, which sometimes I walk around with a hoodie on. And I'm not hiding from nobody. I just sometimes wear a hoodie.
With the hood up.
Right.
With the hood up, yeah.
Yeah, right.
With some big shades on like the damn Unabomber. If I'm trying to be low key, when I ain't trying to sign autographs, everywhere I go, I throw my hood on and my glasses.
I got your autograph.
When I'm not trying to sign up, when I'm not trying to shake hands and kiss babies, I'll be wearing my hoodie and my glasses.
Hey, now I got your autograph.
I'll throw these big old Versace's on right here.
You didn't even hear me.
You got my autograph?
I really do.
Oh, okay.
You want to see it?
Would I sign something?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see it.
Oh, hold on. I got to take tape off of it now.
What you got tape on it for?
Because I was hitting flies with it. And it was falling. And I didn't want them to fall.
Oh, it's one of them Miss Ann fly swatter.
Oh, okay. All right. So I signed the Miss Ann Fly Swatter.
Yeah.
I still got my Miss Ann Fly Swatter too.
If I can cut the tape off of it, I can't.
Don't worry about it. I believe you.
Yeah. Let's get on.
I believe you.
Here, I just found that. Let me cut this tape off of it.
You
I
don't
put
have to
tape
cut
on
the tape off. All right, when you do, let me know.
Daughter,
I put tape
9
on
years
it
old,
last
you're throwing a wig on a 9-year-old? And the gray hoodie pulled over her head? Why? Why are you doing that? To me, it's obvious. She doesn't want people to
on.
recognize her or her daughter or be able to identify them when.
Yeah, that's me. Dolly Vision.
Yeah.
That's my signature. It's official. You can sell that right now for 3 easy payments of $29.99, Tony.
No, $99.99.
$99.99. Okay, that's only because Miss Ann's up there. If it was just me, you could only get $29.99.
When someone's asking around. So the disguise was in the beginning of the trip. We know that she left from California, went to Nebraska, stopped in Kansas, headed back through Colorado and Utah, northern Arizona, and back home. But once she got back home, her daughter wasn't there. The fact that the disguises began in the beginning of the trip tell me that there was some sort of a master plan here to avoid detection. There's another reason I know something was planned, because she.
What was that?
I said, you're brilliant, Sherlock.
Well, Vinny, like, you got to remember, he has a lot to remember, you know. He talks a lot of cases. So can you imagine having to go through so many cases? And like, it's a little harder just to turn the camera on and go than most people think it is.
It is.
Changed plates or tags on her car, on her rental car. She rented a car in California with California plates, but conveniently had with her a New York tag that she threw on there at some point during this trip. Why do you do that? The same reason you throw a wig on a 9-year-old.
And you know, when he's live on court TV, he has an earpiece. He probably has a teleprompter. He got producers, you know, so they probably put a lot of this together. And when he's on his podcast, it's just him and, you know, shooting from the hip. You can tell this is way better produced than his podcast.
Choreographed.
Right. So he's a little more extreme and hypes it up a little bit better on court TV.
Yeah.
He's a little more aggressive with it too on court TV.
To avoid detection, to deceive, to get away with something that you planned.
She planned
hard
something.
to put together the mindset here, even if she does suffer from some form of mental health issues. She knows enough to plan and plot and deceive. Now, we saw her in court, and then she was released by the judge on that unrelated case and was re-wigged at home.
Re-wigged at home. I've never heard that one.
I haven't either.
She was totally re-wigged.
She was wigged out.
What's that mean? Re-sewed in or what?
No, she just put a wig on when she got home. But he's got a, you know.
Oh, re-wigged.
He said, you know, he said he's not trying to be petty, but he's taking jabs at the wig for sure. You know what I'm saying? He can say he's not, but he's definitely taking some jabs.
Sewing one into her head.
That's the funniest thing I've heard Vinny say in a long time. She's re-wigged at home.
Man, I've been watching this guy for like 12 years or so.
I've watched Vinny for a long time, but that's one of the funniest things I've ever heard him say is she was re-wigged at home. Oh, Lord.
I know she likes to wear wigs. We've heard that from the family. She's got a ton of wigs. I get it. Personal choice. Who cares? I mean, it's not a big deal unless your 9-year-old child is missing and you threw a wig on her. Then all of a sudden, the wig issue looms much larger. So here we are, another night. Melodee is still missing. Ashley is home, has an ankle monitor, but she's home. And everyone's wondering, when are we going to get an answer from her? She could end this mystery so easily, so quickly, just by speaking up, but she's not. So everyone is out there trying to track down this 9-year-old girl, including Crystal Bermudez from Scripps News Group, who has the latest tonight from California for us.
I'm Crystal Bermudez, your community reporter in Santa Maria at the county courthouse, where the mother at the center of a missing child investigation appeared before a judge on Wednesday. I was there in the courtroom during that hearing when Ashley Buzzard denied the felony charge against her, and the judge ordered for her to be released from custody.
Reading and advisement of the complaint, we're entering a not guilty plea with no time waiver. We're requesting an assignment as quickly as possible.
Public defender Adrian Galvan appeared in court beside Ashley Buzzard, describing the allegation in the felony case against her as non-serious and non-violent.
She refutes the allegations that have been brought against her, and we are looking forward to the opportunity to test the credibility and the veracity of the charges brought.
Wearing a gray cardigan, Buzzard kept her hands crossed throughout the hearing and with short hair looked different from her usual appearance. Lily Dennis, Melodee's paternal grandmother, was inside the courtroom during the hearing and says the experience left her shaken and frustrated.
Well, you got to, somebody said Vinny don't always have the whole story. So you got to remember, Vinny's on TV. If he says he has to play this weird common ground kind of thing, because he can really get sued, because he has people that's supposed to be fact checking what the hell he's saying. If you notice, he's a little more careless on his podcast of what he says than he is on court TV. And, because he don't have a boss on YouTube, but he has a boss there at court TV that kind of.
He hasn't been YouTubing that long either.
No, I enjoy him on YouTube. I think he's a little more laid back, a little more.
Yeah, it's a lot better on YouTube.
Yeah, I think court TV, he's more controlled. He's more aggressive, more kind of like in the Nancy kind of way of, like anger. We're going to show anger because we're mad about this, right?
I think Ashley Banfield has a YouTube channel and her other show too.
Yeah.
Oh, Ashley's good.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these people want to become YouTubers because they know that that's what you got to do, that the majority of viewers of people these days are watching the internet for their media. And
I'll tell you one thing right now. All I watch is YouTube.
Yeah, I watch a lot of damn YouTube myself. So I think they know this. A lot of these people do. And that's why they're like, okay, well, we want to become YouTubers. But, it took me a long time to build a following. But, then again, these people are on TV. So it don't take them very long to build a huge following. It ain't the same type of hard work that you got to put in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Vinny didn't work as hard for his 100,000 people as I did for my 80. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference.
He slid right over.
Yeah, he slid right over, and all them people from Court TV just followed him and subbed up to him, which that's great. I mean, he did work hard on YouTube to build his name and his brand. So I ain't saying he didn't work hard like that, but he didn't pull all the years of YouTubing to do it. He just did it a different way. I don't hate the player. I just hate the game.
He might drop Court TV and just do his own thing.
You never know if he ends up. Well, I'm sure Court TV probably wants to make some extra money too, and he does the podcast, which can get him sponsors, and or he just does it for fun. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for that man, but I'm glad he's on YouTube. I enjoy his stuff, and I like the people he chops it up with. I'm gotten kind of used to him now. In the beginning, I was kind of like, but now that I watch him more, I'm kind of like, you kind of get to know their personality, and Al and Jonesy. So they kind of grown on me a little bit over time.
Did you say Alex Jones?
No, Al and Jonesy. There's two different people.
I would have never recognized her. I can't believe it's her. She looks so different.
Along with being surprised by the drastic change in appearance, Lily tells me she was not happy with the judge's ruling.
What about my case? Where's my granddaughter? Well, we don't know nothing yet. That's what they tell me.
Prosecutors pushed back against Buzzard's release, pointing to her recent behavior amid the search for her daughter.
Ms. Buzzard has been notably uncooperative with law enforcement
child welfare services. Pertaining to the disappearance of her daughter, Melodee. Still, the judge ordered Buzzard not to have any contact with the alleged victim in the false imprisonment case and said she cannot possess any weapons.
Look how much skinnier she is now than she was in that video.
Yeah.
That may be some drugs.
Yeah. Could be.
Getting released on GPS.
Following the hearing, I reached out to the man named in the criminal complaint. He declined to comment. I met with Lori Miranda, Ashley's mother, Wednesday afternoon. That's your daughter?
Yeah, I can tell. That looks like my daughter.
But seeing Ashley in court left her feeling uneasy.
Court thing. She just looks so forsaken. So sad. She had so much going for her. I can't believe it.
And she had this message for Ashley.
I just wanted her to tell where the baby is because I know she didn't hurt my granddaughter.
I reached out to Santa Barbara County Sheriff's spokesperson Raquel Zick to see if there are any further updates in the ongoing investigation involving Melodee Buzzard. At this time, Zick says there are no new developments. Buzzard's next court appearance is set for November 19th. In Santa Maria, Crystal Bermudez, KSBY News.
Okay, so she's set to go to court on the 19th. And you heard the grandmother right there, Mab, Tony, say, you know, she just wants to know where her granddaughter is, that she wouldn't hurt the baby. I don't think she's hurt this kid. I think she's hid the child myself.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, I don't know what her court date is. I don't know if that's her trial or what. Or if she's going to ask for, you know, more time or whatever it may be, or they may, you know, it may be the trial for her holding this dude with a box cutter. But like I said, this goes into he said, she said shit, and there's no way to prove what he's saying is true. He don't appear to, I seen him in an interview. He didn't appear to have any marks or bruises on him. So
that was a setup.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, and he was sitting there basically by the other side of the family, and he said he was delayed because there was locks on the door that he couldn't get out. It took him a little bit longer to get out because there was a bunch of locks on the door.
Wouldn't he have noticed her locking those locks when he got there?
And what woman could hold you hostage, Mab, if you really wanted to leave?
She'd have to weigh about
anybody can hold Mab.
I'm just saying, if you wanted to get out and a woman was blocking the door, you could get out that door.
Yeah.
Mab can't.
Mab can't. Yeah. Mrs. Mab whipped that ass.
Miss Mab's birthday as of about 47 minutes ago.
Oh, happy birthday, Mrs. Mab.
Happy birthday, Purdy Teeth.
Yeah, awesome.
Been sleeping.
You going to do something special for her today?
I better.
You better. Damn right you better.
You better
check out of here and get to bed before it's too late.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to wrap it up anyway. Hey, Mab, thanks for coming up. Tony, I guess I'll see y'all tomorrow night, late night panel night.
Hey, you doing this Thanksgiving thing? Should I just send something to the GoFundMe or something?
Yeah, or just get a hold of PJ. Either way, it don't matter.
I talked to her and she said you might want to do something live, but
yeah, I am going to do it live, but I'll be here live tomorrow around between 7 and 8 Eastern Standard.
All right.
So, yeah, because I think we're going to give 3 or 4 more people Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. We're already at 7, so that's awesome. And thank you for everybody out there that has taken part in this. Thank you so much, guys, because we've been able to buy 7 people Thanksgiving dinners. And last year we only bought 1 person Thanksgiving dinner. So we done did that. By the time we're done, it'll be like hopefully a dozen people that we bought Thanksgiving for.
All right. So I'll hit up your GoFundMe tomorrow morning.
Okay. All right. And I'll let you know what family you're sponsoring.
All right. Sounds good, man.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Hey, 10-4, guys. God bless you all. Everybody have a good night.
You too, Tony. And I think Short Legs wanted to sponsor a family too. So we got a few different families that we're going to pick from. And this is say somebody's watching right now and you're in need Now, only if you're in need and you're a single mother and you're kind of struggling for Thanksgiving, send an email to pjvision22 at gmail.com and explain a little bit about what's going on in your situation. And we're going to be picking a few families tomorrow to buy a Thanksgiving dinner for. And we have it delivered to your house. Now, you have to cook it. It's unprepared food, but we're going to send, the turkey, the stuffing, the dressing, the pie, whatever it comes in the package, right? They got some package they sell. PJ handles all that shit. I don't really know what comes in it. But we shipped that out to 7 people today between yesterday and, well, I keep saying today, but it's actually after 12. So the last 2 days we've shipped out 7 Thanksgiving dinners for 7 families. And we're going to do at least 3 or 4 more tomorrow. So that'll put us at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 12. So a dozen families have gotten to have Thanksgiving dinner because of us turtles. Tell me that ain't awesome. That's thank you guys, everybody that's took part in this that make this possible, because I couldn't do it without the help of each and every one of you. And then still we have the Christmas Wish Fund where you can donate, or if you're a family in need, you send us a letter, pictures of the kids, and send us their Christmas wish list from Amazon. And we're going to pick 3 families a week before Christmas, and we're going to buy these kids some Christmas presents. That's what we've been raising money for. So this holidays we will be able to help a bunch of people for Thanksgiving, and we'll be able to help some people for Christmas. And I just think it's an awesome way to give back to our community here. And you guys are absolutely awesome at taking part. The thing is this, I haven't seen anybody else doing this. Right? Usually everybody copies everything I do, but they don't never copy none of the good stuff. Okay? If you want to copy Dolly, copy the good stuff we do. You ever notice when people talk bad about me, they'll say the bad stuff I do, but they won't never say nothing about all the good shit I do. And they don't include that. That don't count because Dolly did it, right? But thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. And I'm sure each and every one of them families that we were able to help for the last 2 days and tomorrow, thank you guys. Okay? And the whole point is we get to make some people happy. And you know what? That makes me happy to see other people happy. Gray Hughes uses charities to raise money. What does he do? Does he do something cool? Well, shout out to Gray Hughes. If he does something good for I like to help my community, the true crime community. Now, I wish more true crimers would help the true crime community, because just think, if we were able to help 12 and you had somebody else to help 12, then you got 24 families. You every time you add another YouTuber and you add 10 dinners, then think about how that adds up. Then hundreds of people in our community that are struggling get that help. Somebody says he rips people off. I don't know what he does. I can't speak for other YouTubers. I just like to see some of these people help the community a little bit. You guys have done so much for me that it's only right that we give back, right? So that this is the best way I can think to do it. And I want to keep the Christmas spirit alive for some of these less fortunate kids. So remember, if you submit a letter for Christmas wish, it needs to be for your kids, because that's what Christmas is important to. That's the magical part of Christmas, is when kids wake up, they have these presents. As an adult, not a big deal. Like if I don't get nothing for Christmas, it don't faze me. Now I'm a grown ass man, right? But I'm blessed. I know I'll have plenty of things, right? PJ always does nice stuff for me, always. But making that kid smile, or seeing them kids happy on Christmas, or their mother seeing them happy, that is you donate to Christmas toys locally, that is awesome, right? And we're going to do some stuff locally here too, right? not just on YouTube, but here in my community, I want to do some things to help too. I really ain't figured out what yet, but here locally, I'm either going to donate something, I'm going to go somewhere and volunteer my time on Christmas. I'm not quite sure. I know Thanksgiving I can't volunteer my time because I got to go out with PJ, but maybe for Christmas I'll volunteer at a church, a meal kitchen or something to give back uh, to the community. And to me, my time is more valuable than money because I can get money. I can't get my time. So if I give you my time, that's the best thing I got to offer you. Okay. To me, it's better than money because that's the one thing I can't get back. It's the most valuable thing on this planet is your time. So I'm gonna find like maybe a soup kitchen or something, and hopefully PJ will do it with me. So we'll go volunteer together and help people this holidays. All depending on if there's plans with the family or what's going on. But I'm gonna try to line that up for Christmas. So I'll let you guys know when that all goes down and all that good stuff. But like I said, we'll pick the families a week before Christmas because we want these presents there before Christmas. We don't want to buy you something and then you not get it to 3 days after Christmas. So we'll probably ship out stuff maybe even sooner, 10 days before Christmas. So we don't really have that much longer to gather funds. Well, we got, I don't know, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe tops 4 weeks. And then we got to get everything shipped out. Make sure that Amazon is going to have it to you. That way, like I said, when Christmas happens. I do know one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be buying some pillows and blankets, and I'm going to be giving them to the homeless people at the ocean front. All right. So I'll probably take you guys with me live when I go out and give those out. Because usually it's the evening time. I need some security just in case I get stabbed. But no, usually the homeless people at the beach are really good. I've been doing things for the homeless people at the beach since I was a teenager and used to ride bikes. I would go to the soup kitchen and sit with them and eat and just chat it up with the homeless people. They had a soup kitchen that was right at the ocean front. And, I'd be out riding my bike and then they had dinner every night at 6. I'd go in there with some of the homeless people from the community and sit down and eat dinner at the church. So maybe that's where I will volunteer this Christmas. That same organization is still at the beach, but they're farther away from the beach. Maybe I'll go give them my time because that would be somebody good to help because I used to go there when I was a teenager and eat. I wasn't homeless, but I would still go in there and eat with the homeless people. They always had good food too. They always had pretty good food. But I would go out there and give out sandwiches and different things to all the homeless people that lived on the beach. And it's getting cold. So I'm thinking take some pillows and some blankets, just some cheap pillows like the $3 ones you can get from Walmart and a couple blankets, well, a few blankets. And I may go somewhere. I just don't know where to buy the blankets at, right? Where I can get some cheap blankets. Not like dirt cheap, but something that they don't use them long. It's not like something crazy. Because if you go to Walmart and buy a blanket, them shits are like $30. So I won't be able to get many of those. So if I can find maybe thrift stores, maybe I'll start going to some thrift stores and seeing if they got any blankets, and then buy some of the blankets from the thrift stores, and then go out there and give them out because they usually sleep on the parking benches at the beach at the ocean front, or they sleep in the doorways of like businesses. Yes. But I'm gonna get out of here, guys. You be good. Dolly loves you. I will see y'all tomorrow. I'll come live during the day and do some true crime with you. Then around 7, 8 o'clock, we're going to do the Thanksgiving giveaways. And then I don't know where we're going to do from there, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. And just remember, if nobody else does, Dolly loves you guys. Happy holidays. Peace.